Live, go live, go live. Hey, I think we're live. It says we're live right there. Well, you can't see where I'm pointing, but chat's frozen too. I don't know. I think we're live. It's a Sunday night hang. I'm Ben. You knew that because you're on my channel. I'm hanging out with my brother from another mother. Oh, even managed to point the right way right off the bat. Yes, I love it when that happens. We got Bent Tom in the house, and yes, we were supposed to have Frank Rashot from Line 6. Unfortunately, Frank is, what's the fancy term? In transit from one destination to another. So we rescheduled, offers your apologies. Just got a message from Terry on the phone saying we are in fact live. Lawrence just said no notice yet, but he says we're live. Awesome. Let's
hey, Lawrence.
Yeah, who do we got in the chat? We already got 33 people. We've got earlier in the day, they're not here in the chat here, but we had Ryan X stop in. We had something believable stop in because we're only a minute and 3 seconds in.
Bleeping believable.
We have Sandra here. We have Terry. We have some guy named Ben Coombs. We'll just ban him from the chat.
Yeah.
Martin Lemaire. Mr. Hawk. Jay Steen.
Oh, someone tried to be sneaky.
Yeah. Down and Back with Corn Doug, the number one cornhole related channel on the whole inner Google, as far as I'm concerned.
Number one guy for a Mohawk too.
Mohawk or the reverse, the shaved head. Just
I'll take Doug either way.
We got Eric C, right. JP Page 2, Jack Collins, Charles 75N, Milt T, Rody's Jam Cave, Kurnar, the Albanian assassin himself, assassin of tone.
Yeah.
Get your mind out of the gutter, folks. Cool Tunes Made Easy. Yes, didn't have to figure out the name. Nailed it off the bat. BC Rich 581, Knucklehead 0, Max Josephson, Hit Metalworks, Music Therapy Laz, our Hungarian homie. We've got them all talking to each other. We got Deja Voodoo's here. Michael Easter. Damn it. Skipped ahead. There we are.
Oh, jumped on you, yeah.
Joe C, Guitar Man 45, Mickey Studelmeyer, Mark Taylor. We've got Thunder Falcon. Half Ace, My Knees Hurt. LPD Pedals, who just re-released the LPD 87, now in teal.
Oh, I almost bought another one.
I bet you did.
Just because of the color. I literally sat there and thought about it, and now I'm still thinking about it.
Hey now, we've got 7 over 8, George Lackey, Craig Flowers Music Studio, Randy Crooks, Papa Blue, because I'm scrolling in reverse now. Awesome.
Craig Flowers. Craig
48 people in here already. Yeah, that new 87, and apparently, if you're really infatuated with teal, just saying, Tom, if one is really infatuated with teal and you happen to have an 87 headed your way, it may or may not arrive with pink knobs.
Ooh. I might have to
precedent has been set.
I mean, there would be a fair use situation for it. I mean, obviously I need to have 2 so I can have one always set on the green and one always set on the red. Or I might even just want a slight overdrive and a balls out like modded plexi. So, I might need 2. I mean, it seems reasonable, right?
Yeah. Hey, Nick KB Music, Scott Nickerson in here, Keith H. Cousin Doug says, hey, Ben, great job today. Thank you. Yes, I was a little busy earlier today. Sunday afternoons, late morning on the West Coast. But Mr. Pete Thorne had Mr. Peter Frampton on today. Oh. And there was a couple wingnuts in the chat, but had to take care of that. But wow, that was amazing. Let's just say, when one of the first stories of the show starts out with how we got crabs at age 15 and it's Bill Wyman's fault.
Who can say anything happened? It was Bill Wyman's fault.
And then because it happened, and then Peter didn't know what was going on. Told his, he said to his mom, "What's up with this?" She's like, "Oh my God, how did this happen?" Bill fucking Wyman, and she called up Bill and chewed him out over the phone,
like a mom would do, of course.
Yeah. Big G, Edwin
Gary.
Crane.
What's up, my brother Gary?
Paul Ewing's here. Blackjack Guitar Nut. Or, if you're in DGS's channel, Blackjack Locking Nut.
Killer weekend. I had a killer weekend. Hope you all did too.
Had a pretty killer weekend.
What'd you get up to, man?
Jeannie. Good to see Jeannie in here as well.
Oh, there's
Fruitcake Tony.
And happy anniversary, Jeannie, because we've told Jay a couple times, but
yes,
got to tell her. You always gotta tell, you know.
Happy birthday to Ellie.
Yes. I hope she had a birthday cake while wearing a Jason Voorhees mask.
That'd be awesome. And very apropos. Hey, there's my lovely sister, Amanda.
What's up, Amanda?
Oh, a reminder, LPD has, let's see here, black with teal toques in the limited store. That's right. He has toques. They're not, although I did see some advertising them as beanies, but anywhere I've been aware, they've been, referred to as toques. Yes, I did get a hello from Peter Frampton as well during the show. Mayhem. Welcome, Mayhem. And Yoda Ryan X, Terry Hines.
Oh, Mayhem.
Man, we've got a good sized crowd in here already. What a way to cap off the weekend. That's what I say.
Hey,
talk some gear, have some fun, partake in some performance enhancing beverages. And there is a rumor that if a certain threshold floor of Super Chats is achieved, somebody's eating an edible. I don't know who.
Couldn't be me.
I'll keep it to a 24K gold standard, though. My birthday was yesterday. Head's a little sore, but not too bad. Well, happy birthday to Knucklehead Zero as well.
That must mean it was a good one then, Knucklehead. I'm guessing.
Nice. God, everyone's saying hey to each other. This is awesome.
Oh, Michael Easter made a good point. He said, I don't know if younger peeps know how gigantic Peter Frampton was in the 70s. I was a bit young, but all of my older relatives had his albums. And Ben and I
were talking about that off air, actually, because Tom is a few years younger than me, so he completely missed out on it initially, whereas Frampton is the same age as my parents, so they were aware to a certain extent. I don't recall if we had a Frampton album here, but a Humble Pie for sure. And hey, my mom was watching the Pete Thorne show today. She was in the chat. She watched the whole show. She started initially watching it on her tablet. Her tablet ran out of battery. She went into the den, kicked my dad off the other computer, watched the rest there. And I remember, one of my earliest memories of knowing Peter Frampton was, and he had touched on it, was doing the Sgt. Pepper's movie. And I remember it being on TV, on a afternoon or something, and Peter Frampton,
yeah,
and the Bee Gees, and Aerosmith, and Alice Cooper.
That's all.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah, it was pretty damn cool. Plus, I think my ma had a bit of a crush on Peter Frampton back in the day.
Well, you have very musical family, very musical parents, so I'm not surprised that they were, hip to that.
Well, more folkies, but they also love the blues and blues rock, and Humble Pie, that's blues rock, right?
They both seem like, though, that they would appreciate, any kind of music if it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, Amanda says he was amazing live. Also, Peter Frampton was hot. There you go. So your sister feels that way as well.
So, there you go. He's hot multi-generationally. Oh, yes. LPD also has black caps with a teal logo in the limited store as well. Yes, Lawrence. I noticed RJ was sporting one of those. And as a guy who likes to wear a ball cap on occasion, but when I saw RJ was rocking a mesh back cap, an LPD mesh back cap, I was
jealous.
Ooh, I'm going to need to get me one of them.
Are those ones on a store, or was that like a special thing?
Special store? Yeah, you put the link in the chat here, lpdpedals.com/limited-store/p/lpd/teal-logo-trucker-cap.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got to get some of that.
Excuse me. Amanda apologized. She's not tagging people because she's eating dinner. GPPH2 saw Sergeant Pepper's in the theater. He was like 13 at the time.
Wow. So Ben, I'm not trying to be rude, but I got to order mine now. Because I know everyone else is gonna, so I can get ahead of them. Do I go with the white mesh old school, or do I go with the black on black with black mesh?
Oh,
because the black with black mesh really makes the logo pop. But the white is the throwback when all you could get was, no matter what color the front was, it was always the white mesh.
I'm gonna have to go with the white. I think so, the only thing missing is the rope, and then sometimes you'd have the ivy on the bill of the hat too. But that was more of a racing thing for some reason. A lot of racing stuff when you'd always get a hat. The winner always got a hat.
Oh yeah. All right, I'm not gonna do it anymore. I'm good. I'm just getting one of each. It makes it easier. Sorry.
Doug says you got to go white.
Okay, I'm getting both. So
yeah, and if you don't listen to fashion advice from Doug Coombs, I don't know who you would.
I know that's definitely.
Fruitcake missed you yesterday.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Tony. I had to end up getting my kids and ran into some family stuff I had to do. It's my son's birthday's Monday, so we had a bunch of family stuff, get-togethers and stuff, and then my mother's birthday was the 13th, and we didn't get to celebrate. She was sick at the time, so we were celebrating both of their birthdays, so it got crazy. But I did go back and watch what I missed. So
I still have to watch it. I was moderating for Steve from Boston. He was on early yesterday.
I listened to the
Carmen 45 said, yes, I said on Pete Thorne's stream, I bought my first Les Paul Custom wine red in 76 because of Frampton. Seeing his article in Guitar Player, had to get it, paid like $600. Nice. That, that's a chunk of change in the 70s.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that's Janice, awesome. Good to see you.
What's up, Paul Ewing? A couple more people came in.
Yeah, we got all kinds of people here. 67 people watching. Canara says a buddy of his has a board full of LPD pedals, but unfortunately I haven't been able to go visit him. He's hooked on LPD pedals. Yeah, I know some people with boards full of LPD pedals. Yeah, we're both guilty of that. Paul Ewing's guilty of it. You know who may have a bunch of LPD pedals on his board? Lawrence. I bet you. Lawrence.
I bet you there's a chance. I mean, maybe not, but it's possible.
Yeah, and he probably has like the one-off. He's like, oh, I need a new tuner pedal, so he just builds himself one or something. And it still improves your tone somehow. Running through. How do I sound going through his tuner?
Like a brand new buffer circuit with like the smallest gate, which takes nothing but hiss out, and it's like a half a dB boost. So it's just like makes everything sound glorious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens to be a tuner, right?
Yeah. He's thinking about it right now. He's And keep it analog. It's the only analog one with just a dial.
You just call it the Glorious Lawrence.
There we go.
Like metallic gold, and then just do like a flat, a matte black flat LPD logo, LPD pedals logo. I think that's, or you do the matte on the actual pedal and then the logo's shiny,
Craig Flower says, you guys, I'll be 40 in a few days, so I bought a 2020 Gibson Les Paul Standard 60s and iced tea. It's perfect.
Nice.
Congrats and a happy birthday.
Thanks.
And I'm sending the link to someone who could tell you about my 40th birthday a lot better than I could, because I don't really remember it too well. But the text here, and you'll love this, Tommy. You want fashion? Get me on there, LOL. So
nice.
Yeah, there's that.
That's nice.
Martin from Austria. Gee, and that was fast. Asking you shall receive. Oh, look at this.
Oh, look at the shirt.
You want fashion? Fashion's here.
What's up, Doug? What's going on, brother?
Not much.
Did you drop your new episode yet, Doug? I know we were talking about it. You shot it last night.
Yeah, I dropped it. It's audio only. The video was absolutely horrible in my new studio, and so I do a quick 1 hour audio with 4 drunk guys.
Yeah, and Tom, ask him what time he did it at.
Yeah, I did from midnight to 1. Kind of like being on this show sometimes.
See, Craig, that's an often misconception. Doug is actually my cousin, but a lot of people will call him my brother.
Yeah.
We act like it. Tom knows that. He has to. I bet you Tom feels less like a moderator during the NAS Canucks show and more like a referee at times, I'm sure.
But it's fun.
Referee at Thanksgiving. You got the last drumstick.
But it's fun. Exactly.
Oh, it's pure entertainment. I don't know why. If people have not checked it out, you're doing yourself a disservice because it's like
this week I will talk slower for the people in Europe.
I love when you talk fast, but I mean, I guess for me, if it wasn't my native language, then I'd be like,
well, you may remember Doug made an appearance last week, and we had a comment from BV Ninja.
I remember, yeah.
And he said, he had to watch it at 3/4 speed because the way Doug talks. So, and we got butt cheeks in the house. And Edwin Crane says, between the ferns style, exactly.
That'd be nice.
And Amanda is very thankful at the moment. Oops, there we go.
Someone has to get the ugly stick. Ben texted me to say that, Amanda. What do you?
So yeah, and speaking of which, Doug was also watching the Pete Thorne show today. Yes, it's the Pete Thorne recap with Ben, Tom, and Doug.
Yeah, you know what? I love watching shows like that, right? Because we've said it many times. I only play the radio, so I can I like just shows like that are kind of info, right? It's just they're fun.
Yeah, it's cool to see,
All right, there's going to be probably the best comment Doug will ever get on this channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, game over. You nailed it, Mike Lee.
You know what?
That's it. Okay, we're done. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks. It's been a fun night.
Deserves one of these. And just because Ben likes to do his product placement, my new show sponsor for my Cornhole show, Land Shark Lager. Check it out.
Yeah.
I've just picked that up.
Yeah, he's got a beverage sponsor.
Anytime you can get a free beverage from your sponsor.
That's right. And I agree, Craig. Yeah, Pete is probably one of the best players on YouTube. Lawrence says the key is to not climb the ugly tree, and you'll never fall out of it and risk hitting every branch on the way down. Cheers to that.
I gave up a long time ago because I had actual hair when I was in high school, and I like to think I was at least okay with the women, but man, once I hit about after I met my wife, my ex-wife, but it just went all downhill.
Yeah, but then there's the middle-aged women that just prefer the bald guys rather instead of, as soon as they see this, they're like, nope.
I have a good buddy, and he knows who he is, my buddy Corey. I keep talking to him. He has the best game of anyone, and not in a creepy way. He'll go to the grocery store and he'll pick up very attractive single women. I'm like, how do you do it? He's like, I just start talking to him. I'm like, well, yeah, it's with words. I get that, but I'm trying to find out how.
And to Blackjack Guitar Nut, no, I did not find them in the parking lot. I had to drive to my actual studio to get a couple.
He likes saying studio, you see, just because he fits in with us, right? Yeah.
This is just a whole.
Doug, as Ben rudely interrupted you about the new studio you just had, wasn't it a 10-man crew install? It took about 2 months, right?
I wish. If it would have been a 10-man crew in 2 months, I would have made it like another 4 inches taller, hit my head on the roof all the time.
With like 2 bays to put your race cars that you own, your NASCAR actual official track cars in there.
Yeah, I wish.
But but Ben had to interrupt, so we'll never get to hear that story.
Fuck you. I believe he was in Scotland.
How's it going?
I always believe because I'm never quite sure, even though he reminds me every time. Nice. And thank you for posting the link, Sandra. Do appreciate it. And everyone, yeah, definitely if you're planning on shopping online for gear, use the Flipside link down below. Check out, see if Flipside has what you want. Save the link in your favorites. It is an affiliate link, and I get a little something.
There's also
a lot of something. A little something.
I think a lot of people don't know, and I didn't know until you told me one time, Ben, because I had been checking out Flipside after one of your streams, and you had showed me all the used gear they have too.
Oh,
like they have one of the best used sections of any store I've seen, you know, online like that.
And very little of it is commission.
But it's all good stuff. It's like, you know, most times you go to used places and it's like 37 Boss DD3s or DD6s or DD7s and 27 DS1s. And it's like, okay, that's cool. Those are both cool pedals. I have nothing against either of those pedals, and I've owned both. And I think I own at least one of them still. But I want to see the, like, he'll get in like an old Bionics X Pandora, the old ZZ Top pedal, or he'll get in like crazy stuff like that. Or like an old
got in the original Mistress last year.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he had an electric Mistress a couple months ago, or maybe it was a whatever the other electric one is, the other Electro Harmonics one from the 70s. But I mean, really cool stuff. It reminds me, going on his used section, of like when you used to go to music stores and you're like, dude, look what they got under here, dude. Look at this pedal.
Yeah, you know? Like all the cool stuff you find in the 15 pawn shops you got to drive 5 hours to. But they have it all right there.
The dude, you know, find like a 68, you know, NKT 275 fuzz face, and it's like $80, you know, or like $20.
Hey, metalhead hippie. And ironically enough, I put out that announcement on Friday, and he happened to get his LPD shipment in on Friday. So the nice Drive A is in stock at Flipside Music.
Nice.
And we'll run that on the Let's Force Lawrence to do a second run, because I don't think there's many left. Might only be 1 or 2 left after Flipside put their order in. I don't know. Maybe Flipside bought the rest of the run up. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that stuff.
That's all the business stuff. You don't need that.
Yeah, business. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So, any new gear, Tom? In the recent little while? You know, it's been what, a couple weeks since you've been on. You know,
that's pretty bad that I have to think about it. Oh,
actually, I think it's been Hey, Dan, New Jersey.
Look what came that I won.
Ooh.
And I have to be honest.
I'm going to present you there for a sec. Show that off, because I want to thank again, Mr. Tim Lewis from TL Pedals. I
have to be honest. It just came this week, but I had early in the week. But I had like crazy stuff going on this week, and then like I said, my parents were in town, so either tonight after we get off or tomorrow morning, I will finally get to try it out. But I'm chomping at the bit because, you know, I watched everyone's videos that did do videos on it and stuff, and it sounded awesome. So
2 left, folks. Apparently,
I think. Yeah, I only had like 5 minutes today, and then I was like, no, because if I do that,
right,
I'm gonna start
that's
using
not fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna, you know.
Yeah, you sit down. You're gonna love that thing. Plug your Strat into it. Just saying.
Yeah.
And
sure.
there's 2 nice Drive A's left from Lawrence directly. If not, they may be gone off to Ike. And I see a couple people in the chat now have mentioned they're looking for another run of the Vermin as well. Any new gear, Doug?
No. I will say, though, what I did show off last week, if anyone was watching, I believe there is some more of the EVH cornhole bags if you want to have them as as a thing. And I think I'm almost got mad at Octane to do another run of them as well too.
Nice,
cool,
nice.
Yeah,
I can just imagine he probably went, "What the hell?" Because he put and they went fast, and you were probably just smirking because you know both sides of it. You know the collectible cornhole bag side of things, and you know the craziness known as if you throw black and white and red together in a striped pattern on something.
But they went. I think he had like 90% sold like 2 hours after he actually put it out. So
that's awesome.
Hey, 10 Solo Music, another great store as well. They've got some cool stuff.
That was a very cool amp that
I'm just gonna say, maybe if you're looking for a piece of gear, if Ike and the boys don't happen to have it, maybe check out 10 Solo Music as well.
That was a cool amp too that they do. RJ had featured yesterday on his morning show. Very cool amp.
Those a year and a half ago, I want to say, because I believe the owner of that company, he was on a live stream, and I want to say it was like Texas Toast or something like that. Had him on, or RNA Music maybe, or like somebody. And I was just like, oh, these are really cool amps. And then I totally forgot about them. And then RJ all of a sudden had them on. Speaking of which, RJ will be on next Sunday night. Nice. So we'll keep the teal wave continuing.
Sounds good. Yeah, they. I thought it sounded great. And, American made, not too big, but the sound was pretty big. But and I think they said I think that one's like $9.99, which for all handmade, domestic product is not bad. It's actually a really good price for what you're getting. If you're looking to buy something like that.
Thank you, Sandra. Through the channel link to the NAS Canucks channel. We're up to, I believe, 46 subs. It was a huge blow up after last week.
Yeah.
Hey, Craig Tomlinson's here.
Yeah, and I am still trying to work my magic to get a friend on your show here. Your Sunday night hang. Well, there was a couple guys that I talked to you about today. Another guy who I talked about before when I want to say Brian Landreth was on your show.
Right.
A buddy he's got a blues band now, but he did tour Canada in a metal band when he was younger, and then he did work with Brent Turner with his Decibel band for a bit.
Right. And for those who don't know, Brent Turner from Helix.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I just keep
actually. You may be able to clear that up, Doug. I was in a chat where we're talking Canadian music. Helix, are they from London or are they from Kitchener-Waterloo?
They actually practiced in the high school that I went to, not at the same time,
right?
But yeah, they're from Kitchener here.
Okay, because I know the singer. He just sold the Helix house last year. Because I think he's pretty much full-time living in Florida now.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, which is, well, it wasn't far from where I lived before. Now it's a good jaunt. But yeah.
See you, Krenar. Have a good one. Get some sleep. Yes. Considering it's, 2:30 in the morning in Austria?
Yeah, actually, seeing Blackjack Guitar Nuts say Kitchener, I believe. Kitchener's
real quick.
The correct thing for me to be doing right now is like The Simpsons, where what's that next town over that they have to spit?
Hey, buddy.
Say hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
How's it going?
Good.
Right here. How are you?
How are you?
I'm not doing too shabby. I want you to meet my cousin Doug.
Hi, Doug.
Good.
Yeah, we're just hanging out, getting your dad into trouble. So, that's how it goes.
Did you get some new guitar gear, Ben?
Normal voice.
Did you get new guitar gear, Ben?
I didn't. I haven't got any new gear yet. I should have some on the way. And I'm seeing a lot of love for Kyan in the chat here for some reason. I don't know, bud. I think you're like kind of famous. I'm seeing, Sandra here saying hi, and Gary saying hi, and my sister Amanda saying hi in the chat.
They like you.
Dessert.
Yeah. Tell Ben, say, I'm gonna go get some dessert.
I'm gonna go get some dessert. I'm gonna go get some dessert.
And tell him, should you keep rocking his asshole?
Should you keep rocking your asshole?
No, rocking your ass off.
You keep rocking your ass off.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Ready?
Yes.
All right, say bye.
Bye.
All right.
Bye,
ready?
buddy.
Ready.
All right, close the door.
So I'm seeing a bunch of stuff in the chat here, but like Ben, I know you're the Simpsons guy. The next town over that they spit every time they say, is that in the Simpsons? No.
No, that was in Corner Gas where they'd spit. Woolerton.
Oh, okay, yes, yeah, okay. I think I have to be doing that every time I say Kitchener, because Kitchener is like, it's actually a couple streets over from me right now, and it's the bad place.
Waterloo people really look down on Kitchener.
Michael Easter did say that he went to school in Waterloo, which is good. Kitchener is a bad place.
All right, see you, Knucklehead. Have a good one, buddy. I'm just looking at the chat here, Tommy. We're gonna have to show this to Kyan after the fact, eh?
I saw that.
Jeez,
Yeah,
it's awesome. We won't get. We're not talking about X's tonight, sis.
And Kitchener is not a good time.
when he went off after the thing, he opened the door again, and when I muted it real quick, and he said, he was talking about Sandra. He remembered her, and he said, "Is the pretty girl there?" And I said, "Do you mean Sandra?" And he says, "Can I see Miss Sandra?" And I said, "She's not on tonight." And he was like, "Okay, bye." 16
I think she's probably seen me on now and just like, I'm not going to that tire fire again.
Yeah. Exactly. She's happy just hanging back, posting links.
Oh, she's a sweetheart. I love her.
Western Europe, London. That's another. Oh, it's even worse than Kitchener. But yeah.
Yeah, but the other way, right? Because Kitchener was all blue collar, and London, they got their nose so far up in the air, you sprays, they still have oxygen.
Yeah. But,
now we're getting into really central Ontario knowledge here.
Yeah.
So much for the global audience. The rest of the world is like, what? Huh? Yeah.
well, there has been a lot of good music come out of here, though.
Yeah.
You know,
And a great
or this
stopping
area.
It was always that kind of B circuit. Like, a lot of bands, like if they have an extra date, they'll play in Kitchener, Waterloo, or London or something. But, I remember, like, even in the late 90s, it was a converted theater into a live concert venue, the Rev.
You know what? I was just looking I got a concert poster from a band that probably only you and one other person in the chat would know. Being a band called Great Big Sea, their concert poster from the Lyric.
The Lyric, that was it.
The
Lyric.
And like you said, it was a converted movie theater, so the acoustics in there was awesome. Yes, Amanda, the Rev was a great nightclub. For the simple fact is, I could walk to the edge of their parking lot, hit the hill that goes down, and I could roll to my house. It was awesome.
Nice. Yeah. What was I thinking? Yeah. The Lyric is funny because I lived there for 6 months, nothing at the Lyric. Okay. Literally the week I'm moving back here, upcoming in 2 weeks, they had Motorhead playing. And 2 weeks after that, Collective Soul was playing.
Actually, now seeing what's Amanda talking about the Rev was before that a roller skating rink that the headliner for the Cult the one night got booed off the stage. That band being Guns N' Roses.
Wow.
Wow. Sister said Eve 6, Gob, and Trouble Charger there. Nice. Hey, Duff Jacks.
I've seen a bunch. Like I've seen even some smaller bands that have come through here. Just
the Twist
bands. Yeah, the Twist became the. I forget now how that all went, but there's like.
Thank you, Six String Stanger, and good to see you, buddy. Yeah, that's right. Supporting the guys at Flipside.
But even out of London, there was a band. I don't think they're even together anymore. The Gundarvas, which I had seen.
I remember the Gundarvas. You know what? They might be back together because you can actually get paid to play under that name, right? Instead of just if those guys aren't playing as the Gundarvas, if they're doing solo projects, guess what? They're playing the same venues I play at.
Well, the lead singer was kind of freaky, but yeah.
Yeah. The Twist became the Revolution.
Yes. Yeah.
There we go. Kitchener history, folks, right here on the Sunday Night Hang.
And then our other big thing was was Lulu's that we had here.
Lulu's, it was pretty much closed by the time we got of age, didn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom, that was a bar that used to be a Kmart.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's
the bar kind of wrapped the whole building.
Yeah, it was the world's longest bar.
Yeah.
Because, it was 3 walls, and then you had the stage.
Yeah, I've been to a couple places like that, and it's like when you need to get like the whole way around to the bathroom, it's the biggest pain in the ass. Because it's, you're just like around the outside, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Yeah, she says Lulu closed 99. Yeah, but it was like just like a weird restaurant or something at that time. It wasn't.
I kind of went to a whole bunch of weird stuff, but
because that was a place like your first tour of Canada, as I say, a British or American band, you were probably going to play like the Horseshoe Tavern or the Alma Combo in Toronto, like those venues that people outside of Toronto have heard of. And then chances are, if you're headed west to say Detroit, you're playing Lulu's the next night.
I know there's one person maybe called your sister that might be upset when I say this, but I think almost April Wine became the house band there because they were playing there like all the time, it seemed.
Yeah. Well, again, that downtime, that downside of the career. I say again because I'm continuing a conversation I had with Tom off air. Like we were discussing with a career of certain artists, those 70s artists by the mid 80s.
Yeah.
That was the thing. It was a bar, but it also held like 2,000 people or something like that.
Yeah. And and then even now, COVID has kind of threw a big wrench into it, but Oktoberfest here kind of became last few years. It's like, let's bring another band back. Well, actually, David Wilcox became a regular now at Oktoberfest at a German beer drinking festival. Let's have David Wilcox play.
Sure, who's in recovery for every day. Well, then again, he pounded back enough booze.
Yeah. So they had like him, and they had Sam Roberts come in. Sam Roberts band.
Paul Ewing used to live in Kitchener as well. Nice. Michael Easter. This is interesting. Michael Easter. At first you think, wow, impressive. I remember hearing about Lulu's. I was there in 91, 93. He's in Prince Edward Island. Well, what they don't know is half of Kitchener is made up of East Coasters transplanted to Ontario.
He said he went to school in Waterloo.
That too.
Yeah. Yeah, Oktoberfest. Let's go and pay $30 a ticket to go in and drink beer, and that's it. Yeah. Because there is some places that actually do scalp their tickets as well, too.
I was going to say, yeah, but for $30, is it all the beer you can keep down?
No, you still have to buy your beer once you get in.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I thought it was, like, included.
No, not at all. Not at all. But yeah.
All I know is I'd like to see April Wine do a spring tour of all the wineries around here.
There you go.
Had to say it.
No, but we have, I have seen a bunch of stuff come through here too. Like you and I talked about, doing a show about stuff we've seen and bands that I know. One band got back together again, which I always loved seeing when they came here, was the Watchmen.
Right.
A band out of Winnipeg.
Yep. Yeah, out of Winnipeg with their Newfoundlander bass player who now lives in Campbellford, Ken Tizard.
A newfie.
Who I've met a few times, and we've talked about doing some work. Actually, Ken Tizard's new album, Doug, one of the tracks, the drums on the tracks is my old drummer Shane, who from the Honey Badger outfit. He actually played drums on one of Ken's songs. He's like, hey, have you heard of this Ken Tizard guy? I'm like, yep, I have. We've talked about him coming on the channel, but he's a little reclusive at times, and he wants to do it like in person. He's not into this whole inter-Google thing, so maybe post-COVID.
I'm going to say, if he's from Campbellford, there was another show used to be on TV here with a bunch of people from Campbellford, and yeah, that wasn't good TV.
I remember Kim Mitchell playing in Campbellford for some reason. There was like, what's Campbellford? It's a town of like 500 people, half an hour north here.
And they all love Demolition Derby.
Coming in hard and hot.
All right. Who wants to read that one off? I'm just taking a shot.
It's all you, Doug.
Nope. That's the non-family member.
The sexiest menage I've seen since the spring of '91. Great show, gents. See you guys on Metal Wednesday. Sans Pants. Love you all. The one, the only Boner Jams.
There's only one.
Oh, there's definitely only one. Hey, Boner Jams, how's the month of Spooktober going for you? I know you're a big, super Halloween fan like me, and I'm sure you have your preparations going.
I think Glass Tiger played there too. You ever heard of Glass Tiger, Tom?
No. Another one I got to write
one
down.
hit would have made it big south of the border. That was a big hit.
Yeah,
Don't forget me when I'm gone.
Yeah.
What was the
where you
hit?
hear Bryan Adams sing once in one line?
Yeah.
Come over the top, Brian. Come over the top, and he does.
You know what? I don't know, Ben, if you've seen him play. Have you seen him live?
Who? Bryan Adams?
Yeah.
No, I wish.
Okay, I've seen him twice. I'm gonna say I got to see. So it's kind of like ZZ Top. I got to see them once, but yeah, I've seen Bryan Adams play twice, and I liked his shows because he did 3 hours, no opener, right? And we were my wife and I were there opening night of the Molson Amphitheater.
Nice.
Which is now, I forget, it's now what, Budweiser?
Budweiser stage.
Yeah, and so we were back. We were just under the roof, but we were in a section where there was like this like wooden kind of thing set up, and we're like, "Oh, what's that for?" Like they took a bunch of seats out. But no, halfway through the show, him and his band basically run off stage, right?
Yep. Can I get one?
Run up the side, and they do a second, like 4 songs at a second stage near the back of wherever they're playing, so that he's then up close to everybody else that's in the back. Wow. So I'd seen him do that in Toronto, and then I did it. They were in Hamilton at Cobb's Coliseum, and he did it there too.
Yes, 6-string Stinger. I'm using the free version of StreamYard, saving up for the pro version, one bit at a time.
Because our family is cheap.
Thank you.
No more broke than cheap. Hey, Dwight Bailey.
Hitman.
Then the other one that I liked, and it's Peter Frampton era that I've seen twice, is Paul McCartney.
Okay, I'm going to point out, Doug has seen many more concerts than I. Many more.
And, Paul McCartney was another good show, too, because in Canada, the Toronto show, Canada, he only does, I talked to our other cousin Kelly about this when she's seen Paul McCartney.
Another cousin has seen him, yeah.
It's Canada and Boston is the only places outside of the UK that he sings Mull of Kintyre.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it makes sense.
He brought out like the Toronto Pipes band with him and everything. But it was actually it's like his last song of the night. It was really cool.
Crazy.
And then again, he's another guy that for his age plays 3 hours, no opener. So
pisses you off.
He played the first hour, then told his band, "Okay, go take a break." Yeah. He played acoustic for an hour, and then the band came back on.
Wow. Yeah, I always hear about the like Springsteen's another one, doing these 3-hour shows. I'm like, God damn it, I can barely do 90 minutes at a time.
It's endurance,
and I'm about done. I need to sit down. I'm like, Christ, these guys are twice my age. Out there doing it, type thing. I was like, fuck, bastards. It's like, you're old. Take a break. Get an opener.
Yeah, and then probably the biggest one I was at was, I want to say, '94 Lollapalooza.
Nice. That would have been the second year of Lollapalooza, I think.
I think so. Yeah, it was the Smashing Pumpkins, Beastie Boys, George Clinton, Nick Cave, L7. I don't know if you've heard of them. They were in there, and the show right before Green Day came on the tour.
Yeah, that would have been the second one because I think Chili Peppers headlined the first Lollapalooza.
Yeah, but it's not. So yeah, Smashing Pumpkins headlined this one. And yeah,
I kind of I wanted to go to Lollapalooza the first year. I had a chance to go, and then something came up, so I couldn't go. And it's just as well I didn't, because I would have been hanging out with my buddy Frank and seeing whatever bands he was into, because I didn't know half the bands. And I just remember him telling me for weeks after, he's like, Dinosaur Jr. was so loud. Like, nobody was even close to the stage. Like, it was literally take the first 40 rows of people and just empty it out. He said you could just walk up, and he was just like, before it started, everybody already knew somehow, and they were already kind of back. Maybe it was a sound check, but Frank didn't. He missed it, so he's like, screw it. Goes up, hangs out on the fence, and as soon as they started playing, he's just like, holy crap. And just, I get it. He was basically knocked back.
Well, I got my my Lollapalooza tickets. I got them for free. So
of course you did.
Because a friend who worked for Ticketmaster at the time got tickets for her then boyfriend and a bunch of other friends, and they broke up in the meantime. She still had the tickets, and she just gave them to us because he had already paid for them.
My sister says she forgot about Frank. Actually, sis, Frank and I have been talking about doing one of these hangouts together. Frank, my God, this guy was such an audiophile. He got to the point where he was telling the local record store what to bring in for records by the early 90s. He took me to my first rock concert because he was going up to Toronto once a month to live shows. And he's like, hey, man, you want to go see Alice in Chains? I was like, sure. And that was the fall of 92. And it cost $12. They were playing on Grey Cup Sunday at the concert hall, which, Doug, is general admittance. So first come, first serve for seating. And so you had to line up. I think we lined up 4 or 5 hours early. 4 hours early. I think like doors were at 7, so we were out there around 3:30 on Grey Cup Sunday. People were like, what the fuck's the Grey Cup? That's our Super Bowl, except our season's earlier in the year. So Grey Cup Sunday is like mid-November.
Yep.
And being that it's the concert hall, I learned you emptied out of your pockets everything that wasn't absolutely required. So you had a single piece of ID, some cash, no wallet. You tied your shoes on super tight so they wouldn't fall off in the mosh pit. No coat because there was no place to put it. So we're standing mid-November on Yonge Street in Toronto, t-shirt and jeans for 3+ hours, while Frank, who was of age, goes into the bar that we're standing basically right in front of, watching the Grey Cup, having pints.
Nice.
Just looking over at my old CD collection. That's just over there because I'm that old. Another band I've seen live, which was good. I think they only put out one album. I'd seen them open for Nine Inch Nails, and David Bowie did a tour in '95.
Right.
Absolute worst Bowie experience I could have probably possibly had. But yeah, a band opening for them was called Prick, which Trent Reznor had signed for their label, and they had some not bad stuff.
Good to see you, Jamal. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. But that was a tour that Bowie went dark. In his dark phase. And he was like, I'm playing none of the old stuff. So I think the only old song he played was Man Who Sold the World, because Nirvana had it big with that song at the time.
Right. Well, and as I recall, that was kind of a comeback for Bowie. That was the whole point of Trent was pulling Bowie out on tour with him, kind of thing.
Oh, so the other older song he would have did
in the 90s
was Scary Monsters, because Trent did come on stage with him at that time.
There we go. Yes, Boner Jams on it. He goes, "Prick is awesome."
They were a really good show.
Yes, a bunch of people say they saw Alice in Chains back in the day. Probably, well, I don't know. Yngwie Malmsteen was freaking loud, but Alice in Chains, they're playing. The concert hall is a cement building that holds 1,500, 2,000 people, and they brought their arena PA for it was way too much PA because the opening band sounded good, but Alice in Chains was so loud. It was overpowering my ears. So once I plugged my ears, I could then understand what Lane was singing. I couldn't make out the lyrics unless I plugged my ears because it was overpowering me so bad. I had to work the next day. I worked in a takeout restaurant. The cook behind the wall could hear the orders before I could. Like literally customers were screaming their orders at me. And I'm just like, yeah, nothing.
That's the one thing that frustrates me is when you go see a band, and because I was at one concert, I can't name the concert, I went to Watchmen and Great Big Sea, and then there was a third band that came on there that I'm not allowed to mention because then I'll become un-Canadian. But
would they be from Kingston by any chance, Doug?
Possibly, but anyway, the first two bands, the Watchmen and Great Big Sea, they sounded like clear, perfect. And then the third band that everybody came to see sounded like an absolute AM radio. Like,
yeah,
I was with a friend who is in the music industry, and we lasted 4 songs, and we're like, okay, we're beating the traffic home.
See you, Lawrence.
Later, Lawrence.
Don't work too hard.
Lad says EVH Pumpkins he's working on.
Nice. Actually, local and friend of the channel. I don't know if he's in the chat. Adam Finkel, who we've seen in the chat a few times, local boy, sent me a photo his dad did.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's not quite coming out, but believe me, it looks even better.
Yeah, we have a guy around here that does every year. Like one year he did Albert Einstein, and it's like that level detail. Like he's just, I mean, this guy's like, I don't think it's how he makes his living, but he could be, a full-time artist.
See if I can get the look on his face.
Oh, I see it now. That's awesome. Yeah. I love it when people go to that level. Like,
yeah.
And even taking out different amounts from the back to get a different light reflection, like that's like serious big boy pumpkin carving, or big girl, I guess, either way.
Yeah, that's next level, definitely. Oh, Ryan X must be. I think he's perusing the Flipside site. He says the used section is great, well-priced gear. Yeah, exactly. Like enough that when I see, I'm like, oh man, that's a score. But then I'm like, oh right, it's in US dollars. But then I do the conversion, and I'm like, damn, that's still a deal. And I've had stuff shipped, even because Ike he'll knock off an extra $5 on a pedal just to offset for the shipping to Canada. But still, it was already a good price to begin with.
Surfer B said hello from Boston. Hey, I can't even do it. Hot shot.
Hey, hot shot.
Yeah, I can't do it the way Steve from Boston.
Yeah, hey, hot shot. Fruitcake Tony says, I've carved a Van Halen pumpkin for Halloween once or twice in my day. Any surprises?
No. I don't think there's that many people that are not like, traveling with the band or they're working that have seen Van Halen more times than Tony. Like, just truly as a fan.
Yeah.
It's insane. And his stories. So, great dude.
Exactly. Awesome. Yeah, we got a good crowd here. I think we already have over 60 thumbs ups on tonight's show.
Nice. Anyone in need of a hug yet?
Nice. Ryan X bought a Digitech Metal Master to replace the one he gave away last year. You bought that from Flipside? Awesome. If you did. And if you used the link, even awesomer. I don't know if that's a word, but I just made it up. Sandra did a dime bag pumpkin. Nice. I don't remember the last time we had a jack-o'-lantern. Because nobody ever trick-or-treated at the last place where I lived at, and I moved here I was here for Halloween last year. I had one trick-or-treater, and it was my niece Sam. So.
What's up, Ben?
Hey, Tommy.
How's it going?
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you.
I hope your dad gave you the hug I sent your way earlier. I was chatting with him earlier today. Good, yeah. Good. Yes, folks, for those who don't know, this would be other son number one, because Tom has two number one sons, in my opinion. Tommy boy here. Happy birthday to him. How old are you, bud?
14. Not yet, but in how many hours did you say? When was that?
About 15 hours.
15 hours.
Nice. Yeah. Well, happy birthday, bud. I remember 14. I was 14 when I started playing guitar.
There's videos of Ben at 14, right?
There is a video of Ben at 14 playing guitar.
Playing one of the guitars he has now that he inherited from his dad.
Cool. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for saying happy birthday. I appreciate it. Thanks, Sandra.
Well worth it. You know, your dad might, lend you a guitar or something until... That's what happened with me. My dad lent me a guitar until I got one of my own. I don't know if you already have one, but just take one of his. Tell him Ben said it was okay. And
he always can take one of mine. He's been playing a little bass.
Nice. Yes, I seem to remember that now. Yeah. Seems to me, yes. Tom, your dad and I were discussing basses for you some time ago. I do remember that. Yes.
The bathroom break, so I'll be filling in.
Well, that works. Well, I think the show just got a lot better, eh, Doug?
Yeah. I was going to say, I thought I had something else musical back here. I was not going in the Tickle Trunk.
Okay.
We witnessed Tickle Trunk last week.
Fair enough. And yes, Tommy, meet my cousin Doug. Doug and I also have a YouTube show together as well.
Awesome.
That your dad moderates for us. Yeah. So... yeah, wow. A lot of people in the chat love you. Man, you should come on more often, bud.
Maybe I will. I'll have to just get a webcam, because I have a old computer that in the bathroom that he made. So he made this other one and gave me his old one. So
nice.
I'll have to get a webcam, set it up.
Well, you're more than welcome to come on. I'll tell you that. Especially if you keep picking on that bass. We'll get on. We'll talk some bass guitar and some of your favorite. Who's your favorite bass player?
I don't really know. I haven't really. I just kind of play. I haven't really listened to it.
A true artist. I don't know. I just play it.
Exactly.
Enjoy Ben. When I see someone his age, what I think of is that he will never have the pleasure that we had to go through to get concert tickets, right? Of having to wait outside, all night to be in line to get concert tickets. True.
Or repeatedly dialing a phone hoping to get through. And then hoping that while you drove 2 hours to get them, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. Or just simply learning. He has the internet to learn from, whereas I'm reading magazines and songbooks and listening to cassette tapes over and over again. Meanwhile, Tommy's going, "What the heck is a cassette tape?"
Yeah.
Oh no, I know. He has my brother Kyan. He has so many.
Oh, nice.
You also not know the joy that you had in all of your Tiger Beat magazines that you had.
Oh, someone's calling me. All right.
Really? Really?
You can hear in the background. Oh, it's a picture of you. You gonna show the stream?
Just what Amanda told me.
Come on.
Just what Amanda.
We'll see.
No, I'm not showing the stream.
Oh.
That's right. Metalhead Hippie says, Tommy, you should check out Nikki Tedesco for a cool bass player. She's come on the channel. She has her own channel. Amazing stuff. Great lady. And hello to Stephen Douglas. Good to see you.
Nice. Yeah, you ready?
Bitch. Well,
Thanks,
thank you, Ben.
See you, Tommy.
See you, Tommy.
I can shut my
Thank you
door.
everyone for the birthday wishes. Tell me that.
Oh, he said thanks everyone for the birthday wishes.
We heard. So there we go. I think we've had the whole Har High family on here tonight. Awesome.
Hey,
Proof
yeah,
that it is, in fact, a family show.
yeah.
Not just because I'm slumming having, my cousin on, my sister's padding the stats in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stephen Douglas. Nice shirt, he says. Thank you very much.
To give thumbs up to your channel because I know you'll get them already.
There we go. And Fruitcake Tony says, question for Tommy, what's your favorite pizza topping?
Oh, I'll ask him. Hold on, let me mute myself.
I don't even want to go into favorite pizza toppings. My show last week that got screwed up in sound and stuff I had a nice rant there because we had a TV taping for a cornhole event that we had here, and we relied on one guy to get the pizza. And just because there's like 16 guys at a TV taping, you do not need a sausage fest on your damn pizza either. You got like 10 pizzas exactly the same, all meat lovers. Like, come on.
I think that might be saying something more about him than the rest of the crew.
Well, he is French.
Oh, well, there we are.
Tommy said he's pretty simple. He just likes pepperoni.
That's right, Sandra. I read the comments. I didn't allude it to the name. Robot Master Switch is here.
Hey, Robot, what's up, man?
Oh, excuse me. First beer burp of the show. There it is.
Robot Master Switch and I, although we've never met, we actually chatted like face to face with audio in Johnny Bean's Discord.
Ding.
So the one day he wanted people to come in and just like chat or whatever, and we were the only two that actually had cameras and audio on. He's a good dude, really good dude.
Nice. Awesome. Podcast.
Yeah. I've seen his
Going back to Johnny Bean, when there be dead air, somebody just say podcast.
Robot's got some really cool guitars.
Bet Tom has seen my guitars. Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did we see Eddie Van Haskell in here? I think I saw Eddie Van Haskell in here earlier. If Eddie sent me some photos of a guitar.
Oh, cool.
And I was going to ask if it's okay to show it off, maybe. In fact, I was thinking about using one of the photos as a thumbnail for a Canuck show because it was such an awesome idea.
That sounds good.
Stephen Douglas asks, "What's up with the skateboard?" I've been known to risk my life and limb on it. It's just an old Powell Peralta skateboard I painted up with some stripes. Hey, Mark Dillon. Yes, this Wednesday on the Johnny Bean channel will be the metal show starring Boner Jams and 7/8 Jay Hannon. It's going to be epic.
My brother-in-law was
I'm not seeing Eddie defend himself here. All I'm going to say, fuck it. Eddie's trolled me during shows. I love Eddie. Don't get me wrong. Eddie was my first light core troll from the start because he'd ask me stuff. He'd say, "Hey, Ben, why don't you?" I'm like, "That's awesome." He wants he still asked Richie to play Lady of Spain on an accordion one night. I was like, "Please, Lady of Spain on an accordion."
It's great.
But he's done a custom Les Paul build.
Oh, wow.
Which is quite relict. Here, I'm going to present myself. But the funny part is, because we got to make it bigger, and Terry is going to lose himself over this. If you look at the neck pickup area, it looks almost like a sound hole.
Yeah.
That's because our good man Eddie Van Haskell here has carved down a Canadian Tire hockey puck to fit in the pickup cavity.
No.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Eddie Van Haskell put a hockey puck in the neck pickup cavity. And that's why we love him.
I got to think that adds to the weight of the guitar. Hockey pucks are fairly heavy.
No,
lighter than a pickup.
The rubber.
What do you think, Ben?
they're only a couple ounces.
I think an entire hockey puck would weigh very similar. I'm literally air weighing in my head. I remember the weight of a hockey puck, the weight of a pickup.
I think out of
and
the
they're
three,
pretty damn close, but he's carved down the hockey puck.
You know,
not for a pickup ring, Robot Master Switch. He literally filled the whole cavity with a hockey puck. So yeah, it's awesome. Hey, Zach Thong. He's like, can you pull over a 3-tone sunburst finish? Can I pull over? Wait, pull over? What do you mean?
Pull off, maybe?
I could pull it off.
Just to go back, a hockey puck weighs 166 grams.
Okay. I don't know what a typical like humbucking pickup.
I don't know what a pickup weighs. Where's our pickup builders in the chat?
I could tell you what
a pickup.
I could tell you what 166 grams of green trees looks like, and I could almost draw a diagram of like it could be this small or it could be this big if it's. Anyway, that's another show.
I'm just doing the math and converting in my head. I'm like, how much is that? That's a lot.
28 grams.
A couple freezer bags.
Yeah, that's how we used to do them too. Is it a sandwich bag, a freezer bag?
Yeah, pretty much. Sandwich bags an ounce, freezer bags a quarter pound.
Well, it's funny because when I was exposed.
Speaking of which, hey, Cushman, New York City.
When we used to do them by those measurements, I never partook at the time, which is kind of funny.
I just know when it comes in.
I guess I'm a noob in that sense.
Sandra's asking, Ben Tom, strain of the day?
So I have. Oh, what do I have? I have what's called Sky Pilot, which is a Blue Dream phenotype, just a variant off of one of a clone of a straight Blue Dream mother, and then they just use one of the different phenotypes. I have that. It's called Sky Pilot, and I also have Wi-Fi OG, which is just Wildfire. Which if you know anything about that, it's anyway. I won't get off topic.
No, that's okay because I was just I started off the day with some Cindy 99, which is an indica, for your daytime.
Yep.
Then we got into some Master Kush, and then some OG Kush, and now we're doing the 24K Gold.
Okay.
Because
I just got.
I think you saw the last photo. I have 8 varieties on the go. I think, or something like that. I don't know.
I want to know when you're going to set up your own grow. You get what? 4 plants, right?
Yeah, not here. Not kosher.
Yeah,
I outsource it. But I'm happy that those who support the channel, somebody gets a thank you along with the Patreons, although he's not a Patreon. One of these names is not like the other on Monday nights. We'll just say that, right?
It's cool because for you guys, it's all legal. So
I'm looking at the comment that not the one that Robot Master just made, the one he made before that, and I thought he was actually talking about me because I'd seen like Zamboni in the comment.
Oh,
right.
Just painting one.
Oh yeah. Because for those who don't know, Doug has a day job. I don't know if you know, Tom. Doug has a very Canadian job. Apparently, well, he does drive a Zamboni for a living.
Right turns.
He seriously does.
Yeah, I make right turns during the day, and at night on the NASCAR show, I talk about left turns.
Nice. Yep. Oh, I never thought about that. Yeah. Well, then it balances.
Which was hilarious. Yeah, because when we first started going down to the NASCAR races,
Zamboni, like that was my favorite thing as a kid. Like it's so satisfying to see when that ice is smooth. It's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I will make one declaration.
20 minutes destroying it. Thank you for making it nice.
Everybody stops to watch the Zamboni do its thing.
Mesmerizing. It's mesmerizing.
I freaking hate people watching me.
I bet. Yeah.
It's kind of while you're performing in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
I remember it was funny because one of our first years when we were traveling down south, somebody made a backhanded comment towards us as Canadians. And he said to Doug, he goes, "What do you drive a Zamboni?" And he went, "Yeah." And where do you come back? When you're trying to do this insult, and then he's like, "Yeah," and that is what I do for a living.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing Robot Master Switch also talk about that. The funny thing is I'm not sure if anyone's seen the news last week. There was that one that caught fire in New York.
Shit. No. Wow.
It leaked a whole bunch of hydraulic fluid, which really scared the shit out of me because had a couple hydraulic lines blow on me.
Yes, you have. And you've texted me late at night from an arena in small town Canada.
Driven over somebody because it's like all red hydraulic fluid. But the thing is, the one caught fire in New York. And everyone's like, oh, Zamboni catches fire. And I'm laughing my ass off, as many other people were, because we were waiting for the time when, and it happened a couple days later, well, the disclaimer came out that it was not a Zamboni, because everyone thinks they're just called Zambonis, where Zamboni is actually a brand. Right?
That's like calling all cars a Chevy.
Yes, right. Exactly. Yeah. So it's actually just a one maker. And it happened to be the one that's made not far from here, Olympia, which we have. But yeah, so it's when people just say Zamboni, it's like, then there's also a couple days later, Zamboni makes the big complaint saying, you're slagging our product when it wasn't us.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. The whole, what is it, Kleenex tissue thing. That's what you get in the.
Well, and that's what Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Sandra, putting up all the links, and man, she's on stuff all the time.
That's awesome. Thank you, Sandra. She's awesome. Oh, what do we got in here? What do we got? Reminds me, I gotta stop by my sister's and drop off some. You know what? I just realized that I'm getting a lot of product testing done, and I'm sure my sister would enjoy as well. So. Oops. Oh, and did I mention during Canucks show tomorrow we have an unboxing? Yeah, we got an unboxing. There we go.
Nice.
Blood and teeth cleaner isn't as romantic as Zamboni, though.
Yeah, you know what? I have actually went, and after I was done doing the ice, had someone say, "Did you find a tooth?" No, I didn't.
Of course, Ryan X is like, "What's in the box?" You have to tune in tomorrow night to find out.
And just because I can now, and I know that Sandra didn't do it, I just did some shameless self-promotion because that's what we do.
Yep. We are Coombs. Hey, Frank Quinn. Good to see you, man. How did you like the PRS CE? I thought it was an SE. It's an SE. CE? Maybe it was a CESE. I don't fucking know. It's Custom 22. That's right.
It sounds like you're making up words now. CES.
It's all right. My sister says she's off the next 2 days. Hint, hint.
Nice.
All right. Maybe I'll stop. Maybe in the next couple days I'll swing by, get a haircut. I got it.
Ben, when she says she's off the next 2 days, that means if not tonight, tomorrow at 7 a.m., you need to be here. Like, that's what that means.
well, once the kid's on the bus for school.
Yeah.
Stop on by.
So whatever time that is, yeah.
Yeah.
Or come hang out with your niece, give Amanda a break for a little. Then when she gets on the bus, make a trip back out to the car.
Yeah, like I'm going to be up that early. You're like, come on.
I know, that's why it's funny.
Yeah. 9:16 a.m. Doug's just going, yeah, like he'll be awake.
I'll be up.
We'll call him at 9:15 to make sure he's going to call you at 9.
I'll be up at 6:45 if anyone wants to join me.
Nope, not so much.
You hear crickets. I took an old man nap this afternoon because I knew I'd be tired in the morning because I can't get to bed till at least 12:30 on Sunday night. Even though I have to be up at like 6:45,
Hey, all I know is thank God Steve from Boston went live early yesterday because he went live at 4 instead of 7 because he went live from 4 until 6. I went, cooked a pizza for the fam, ate that. I tuned into Sheen's live stream for a little bit. Had to do something. And next thing you know, it was like 7:45 at night and I was out. Like cold. Apparently Doug texted me at some point during the night. And I wake up, it's like 10:30 at night. I'm like, well, now I'm fucked. Now I'm going to be up till like 4 in the morning.
Right. Yeah, your schedule gets off. That's rough.
Yeah, I almost texted you that Simpsons thing at 2:30 this morning, Doug.
I
waited till I got up though to text it to you.
I think I was still awake. I will admit I couldn't sleep the other night. and I put on Netflix and I binge watched Cobra Kai.
Nice.
I don't know if you've watched that at all.
I've only
All
watched
right.
a little bit. I'm
just going to say, Ryan X, kind of new to the channel. You know, I love the guy. He comments on a lot of videos. He's a cool guy. And if he's a quarter bottle of gin and mini smokes in, you're right at home, brother. You're right at home.
I may have a bottle of gin in the tickle trunk.
Nice.
I just love this called a tickle drunk.
See, Tom doesn't know the term tickle trunk. However, my accessory case I took to every gig, you know, that has all your, you know, Tom, you have that bag, or like I had it like a briefcase that has all your spare cables, batteries, bits and bobs. That's what I called my tickle trunk, because in Canada, for what, quarter century, Doug, our cousin was entertaining kids.
Oh, over that, I think. Amanda will know.
Yeah, Amanda will know. Our cousin Ernie Coombs had a show, Mr. Dress Up, and he dressed up during the show, and he had this trunk of clothes he called the tickle trunk. So I remember it was like my first time mixing sound for a band, and it was Richie. I was mixing Richie's band, and he goes, "Hey, what do you got in there in the tickle trunk?" And I'm like, yes. There we go. Yep, Mark Dillon knows Mr. Dress Up, of course.
Mr. Dress Up also had a kid and a dog that lived in a treehouse out the back as well, too.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was such a fan, and my parents didn't even tell me that we were related until later in life.
Wow.
Well, I knew his name. Like, I was like, oh, yeah, cool. You know, I used to joke about it.
But never clued in.
And then you find out, and you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. 67 to 96. There you go. So, yeah, just about 30 years on air. And, yeah, I just remember, like, I was such a big fan of the show that I would have been, 3 when my sister, you know, when mom became pregnant with my sister. And she's like, hey, you're going to have a sibling. I'm like, sure. Name Casey or Finnegan. Either way, I'm good.
That's good.
But, yeah.
There we go. I think a few people talk about different things in here. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think the nap thing, Ben, really is it's a family trait, I think.
I wish I could nap like the rest of you guys. You guys drop at the drop of, like, Doug would be like, I'm going to grab it. Like, before it's even out of his mouth, he's out. And I can't.
My wife has actually had conversations with me and tried to get me to talk about them later on. And I'm like, yeah, no.
I just remember I didn't notice it as much till we got the trailer. But when you would decide to take your afternoon nap, there's a certain way you would lay out on that bed. You laid out exactly the same as my dad. And I take one look, I'm like, he's out in like 2 minutes. I know that. I know that position.
I wasn't sure where you were going there with that for a second.
Yeah.
My grandfather used to always say he was just resting his eyes, and he would be like just in just enough sleep where like, huh?
Yeah, but the funny part is you can wake any Coombs from a dead sleep and you'll be like, hey, it's time to go. Okay, yep. And it's just go. Good. You know, like that's it. Worst case, you got to kickstart him with a can of Coca-Cola. You hand him a can of Coca-Cola, good to go.
Nice.
Robot Master Switch, I probably could bang on the drum, but you wouldn't recognize it.
Lord. Could you imagine us in a band together? Well, it'd essentially be McLean and McLean. There'd be probably more talking than actual playing during a show.
Yeah. But there's times where I got stepped on attack. I think there's times where I wish I could.
Proof.
Yeah. Yep. Which, Amanda, you've got to come to Charlotte with us because we have it delivered right to the trailer.
That's right. Coca-Cola girls take very good care of us.
Yep. And it's also Coca-Cola employees that do it.
Yep. And that's funny because I'd say, can we have more? And they'd be like, well, no, not really. I'm like, how much are you going to give me for me to stop bugging you on a daily basis?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, so we get like 3 campsites worth.
Well, really, the more they unload with us, the less they actually have to do.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how like we could have one campsite for years, and yet everybody that hung out on the campsite got a free hat, shirt, bandana, like banners, all these cases of Coke.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Plus, then I did get more Coke, because I will brag that I was the trivia champion of Memorial Day weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yep.
Like 3 years running.
Yep. And then he'd
That's
bring me along for the technical questions, Doug or Tom, in case there was like, and then it would be like, there would be that one random question. It'd be like, so what's the optimum carburetor setting on a Carter carburetor on a 73 Dodge that Richard Petty took to victory? I'm like, huh? And you look at, well, you're the tech guy. It's your, what? Huh? Okay.
Yeah, you lost about four words in.
They got to hold those events earlier in the day.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about it is it's usually other new people playing, and they have the same questions every year.
That's yeah. Exactly.
And if there's one thing anyone knows about me, is I am the master of useless information.
Yeah, actually, my sister got it right. I meant to click on the question. I gave the answer. What constitutes... Well, there's the Canadian bar, and then there's the musician bar as well. So, it's sort of like, when you watch, like, the Olympics and they have that difficulty rating, it's like... So, it depends. It's like, Doug could tell you from the, the jock standpoint, the stick and ball sport, jocks tend to party a little harder. Musicians tend to party a little harder. But generally, give us a campfire, a few cases of beer. I just remember every party growing up, there'd be a campfire somewhere. Every guy showed up with a 24-pack of beer, and every girl showed up with a 12-pack.
I'm not afraid to say that I unloaded 4 cases of beer and a double wide on New Year's Eve one year.
There we go.
That double wide stunk for a while, and I think there was a poodle that lived in a house as well too that hid under the bed for about 3 months after that.
That's too much. It's funny.
Robot Master Switch. The kids I know in BC mess with weed, booze, and some kind of seafood on a grill. Also casual nudity and lots of body hair.
Actually, Ben usually calls that Thursday.
That's because that sounds like a Charlotte trip to me. I just remember your wife. Really? You're just going to wear a pair of shorts today? Yep. Got to work on my tan. Really? Yeah. And then, so he comes out of the trailer with just a pair of shorts on. She's like, no, you're not. He's like, well, he is. She says, yeah, but you're not.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, we're not big when we're in Charlotte.
No.
Well, you never are, but me, I'm like, hey, I'm just a normal sized dude.
Yeah. I'm thinner than most of the women there.
Yeah, I was in South Carolina the one time, and I could have swore that Jabba the Hutt was camped across the way from us.
Wow.
Well, when you wake up at like 6, and the guy's already got like a beer and a can of Pringles going.
Yeah.
Wow.
Usually very pot-bellied and covered in tattoos, like full back pieces. Like, I don't know in the South how, like, I think they give away tattoos with like fast food combos or something, because everyone is tatted. Like, you would think it was a biker fest. I was like, God damn, I was at Bike Week and I didn't see this many tattoos.
Yeah. You almost got me going on something else there. Almost got me going on something else. We've already talked about that. But yeah. It's fun. And the music, and we do get to see good bands there when we're there. So it's always good.
Well, yeah. It's hit and miss for me, but fortunately Doug has a wider taste in the music. He enjoys that, especially it's played there. But what was that? The big guy, Trace Atkins? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. You know.
Yeah.
I could have gone without the speeches between the songs, but he was good. You know.
He was good. ZZ Top was good that one year.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's the year you didn't make it, Ben.
Yeah, but I did make up for it because it was the next year. I think it was the next year when Skinner played, and I ended up backstage. So
the next year?
Nice.
I don't know. Maybe that was 2 years later.
I think it might have been 2 years later.
Dude, I vaguely remember the 2-week trips. I just go on autopilot by the time we hit the border. Yeah. Because, well, let's be honest. Usually when we drive down, we're looking at a 15 to 20 hour drive down, depending on stops. Everybody in the vehicle naps on the way down except for me because I can't sleep. I might nod off for half an hour. I'll give myself half an hour tops. We get down there just in time to like hang out for a couple hours because we always show up before the Speedway even opens for an hour or two. We get in. Well, now, you know, do I take a nap? No, we got to set up camp. And as soon as we set up camp, okay, well, let's go get some supplies. So I keep pushing back that sleep. Next thing you know, okay, let's have a meal. Okay, now Mike's invited us over to the man cave.
And we're
you've been up for a day and a half straight, Tom. Here's some moonshine to drink.
Oh.
Yay. I sleep hard that first night in Charlotte. Doug knows. I go down hard.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I want to say like Sanders saying more metal. I don't think they've really ever had a metal band there.
Well, you know, funny. Somebody played there that neither of us went to see, but he became really well known for playing a metal player last year, at least in a movie. The hip hop white guy that was playing outside of Turns 1.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't tell playing. Yeah, Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah. Doug's like, do you want to go see Machine Gun Kelly? I'm like,
there's a thing. Let's throw Machine Gun Kelly on the infield with a bunch of rednecks.
Yeah, that wasn't even in the infield. I thought it was outside the Speedway.
No, it was.
Oh. Was that where they usually have the cover bands down by TJ's spot?
No, that was the All-Star race. It was up in the middle. Where our campsite is.
Right. I just remember, hey, Baron Guitar. I just remember, it's funny. What was it? It's like every Saturday night they had the cover band in the infield.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So
they don't have that band there anymore. The guy they have there now is actually really good. But that band the one year where that guy would go and sing a couple lines and then walk back, flip through the book, come back, sing a couple more lines.
Yeah, I missed that.
No.
Yeah, like really, like you're going to do every song where you're going to check out the lines of what you're supposed to be singing.
Okay, so Tom, it gets to the point where, you know, like when you're at an outdoor event, you can hear the band playing, but it's enough, like it's quiet enough that you can still have conversation where we are in our campsite, right?
Sure.
And every year, Ben, let's go see the live band. You're a musician. I'm like, I don't want to because either it's like Kid in a Candy Store, I want to get up and play.
Right.
But generally, if there's one spot in the entire NASCAR weekend they cheap out on, it's that band because they just hire any old bar band.
No, now they have a competition, and the guy is actually pretty good.
You wouldn't, yeah, but okay. So, you know, year after year, I'm like, no, I can hear them. They suck, right? So, finally, one year it was some country / southern rock band was playing. Mm-hmm. But it was leaning much more towards country because they had that little bit more polished sound, cleaner sound than the southern rock. One year I'm like, fine, I'm going to go down. I'm going to check them out. You know, because I was going to go hang out with TJ and the boys. They're right down there. I start walking down. I almost make it to this area, Tom. I'm almost there, like 10, 15 feet from the area. And then I start hearing the most countrified version of Enter Sandman I've ever heard in my life. No. And I literally did that, nope, and just did a 180 and started walking right back.
Wow.
And I texted Doug saying, yeah, I'm coming down to hang. And then I'm like, I'm not coming. And he's like, why? I'm like, I just heard Enter Sandman. I'm out. And he's like, I get it.
That's too much.
Oh, because it was like, they're like, we're going to countryfy Enter Sandman. And I'm like, and I'm not going to listen to that.
No, you're not. Funny. I'll tell you, the only one I like that does like rock, or I don't know if they do metal, but does harder music that's countrified, I like, is that one where the guy starts out with the banjo. He does like AC/DC. Like I think they do Thunderstruck, but he does the intro.
See a metalhead hippie?
Have you seen those?
Yeah, they're like a bluegrass band.
Yeah, I dig that, but like what you're describing, yeah, I'd be getting douche chill.
No, most of the time, dude, I take a passing glance by, like on the way to the, to take a leak or something. Because remember when they used to have the stage right by the bathhouse, Doug?
Yep.
And we'd have friends over there, and I take a passing glance, and it's a dad band. Half the time, the singer has a damn iPad on stage, to read off the lyrics, and I'm just like, no, this sucks. I'm sorry, these guys suck. Yeah. And then at least one of our friends, you should have seen the band, they were great. I'm like, no, they weren't. And I remember because the first couple of years Trent would go, Doug, and then Trent would hang back. He's like, because I'd hear the sound check. He's like, you heard the sound check, what do you think? I'm like, no bueno. And then Trent would just hang back, and because he's always like, dissect him, what's wrong? I'm like, all right, well, the mix is off this year, but blah, 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 and I'd always point out what was wrong, at least in my opinion. And he's just like, yep, I hear the same thing. Yep, I hear the same thing.
It all went wrong when they entered the infield.
Yep. But, although, remember that one guy that used to have a whole back line set up? He's had the whole separate campsite just for the back line.
Yeah, I was just thinking of that there, yeah.
Yeah.
Down next to, he was down by Lobster Dude.
Yeah. Yeah,
Lobster
Tom.
Dude.
Literally, we had heard about this guy, right? People say, oh, there's a guy over there. And I'm like, oh, whatever. And then one night, Doug and I are walking around. We're out for a tour. And we come walking by. And all of a sudden, I see electric drum kit, bass rig, guitar rig, microphones. Like the guy set up an entire back line
and
to
you
jam.
Just had to show up and you could play.
Yeah, and you just had to show up.
Wow, that's cool.
And I said to Doug, I'm like, I'll see you later. I think I found a little slice of home. Nice. And I was over there several times. But the funny part was they couldn't play. This guy had way more money than he was a bedroom beginner player, but he had a lot of enthusiasm. Because I'm like, do you mind if I pick up a guitar? I'm like, sure. He says, sure. He's like, are you? I'm like, all right, whatever. As soon as I start playing, he goes, no, we can't jam with you. I'm like, why not? You're too good. I'm like, I'm playing Johnny Be Good here. Like I'm not okay. And so I just go over there because I didn't have a guitar with me that year. And I just go over there and just rip. And they put me into, I think it was like a crate half stack I'm playing through.
Yeah.
Crank it up.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, and you've been drinking moonshine all day? Hell yeah.
I remember we wanted to find a guitar. We couldn't find one. I was with a buddy of mine, and we were in Scotland. We were in Edinburgh, and it was like December 29th or something. It was right before New Year's, and we ended up being there for New Year's. But we literally paid a busker to borrow his guitar. So my buddy starts playing his acoustic, and we're playing it. We're playing some songs. He's getting all these tips coming in. He goes, all right, you're making me look bad to my buddy. He's like, you need to give me that guitar back.
Nice.
But my friend was like, hey, you can keep all the money. I just wanted to play the guitar, like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I know that feeling. Yeah.
Although we never really did venture to where the better bands were on that Saturday night. I just
downtown.
Downtown, just because we.
Well, fuck no, because half the time they hired the same people that you have the Rib Fest here. I don't know what it is, but they always hire Canadian bands.
We just didn't have the ambition.
Yeah, like literally, Tom. 5-6 years ago, they're like, because it's normally a 20-minute drive, but really it's closer to an hour with traffic, because it's
a broken down school bus.
Yeah, and they're like, hey, do you want to go see Pat Benatar and Loverboy? I'm like, not really.
No, it was not Pat Benatar and Loverboy. It was
Honeymoon Suite played one year.
Yeah, and Loverboy, and I just drew a blank.
Actually, because if it was Pat Benatar, it would have went.
Yeah, no, it was Loverboy and I went by that dude that sings. Is it Sister Christian?
Oh right, Night Ranger.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Night Ranger and Loverboy.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys are about 30 years too late on that line.
Yeah, right.
Like, is Brad Gillis still playing with Night Ranger? I don't know. They're playing a street dance in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah.
The scary part is Loverboy reformed to open at a street dance in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Man.
And then there was always the one guy, the Camp 3 spots over for us, that was a huge Honeymoon Suite fan that would just blast Honeymoon Suite's first album every year.
Like the whole time.
I don't know if he saw our Canadian flag and thought he'd give us a taste of home. I wasn't complaining. I'm just like, fuck, that's all right. You know, Honeymoon Suite.
It's always interesting, though, if you find like a fan that like you would think they're such a mega fan that the band they must follow must be like worldwide huge. But it's amazing when you find this person that's like, say like a Johnny Bean or a Caleb, but instead of Van Halen, like their favorite band is like a band that never had huge success. And it's like, you know, have you ever met them? Yeah, I've made them 137 times. Like, I go to all their conventions. I go to
they know them. Yeah,
every riverboat casino. I email them every day. Like, they're playing a street festival in South Carolina. You know, I'm gonna be there.
Still a fun time.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Well, I think too, it depends. As long as the band's decent, if there's good energy and the crowd's having fun, you know, you can still have a good time. You know,
that's how I felt with the Trace Atkins stuff. They had some great players with them.
His band's great.
Yeah.
Were you there the year when Hootie was there without the Blowfish, or was I without you there?
Hootie's there like every year.
So it's just Darius Rucker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's there every year, and he's easy to find.
Isn't he do country now?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Smart man, smart businessman.
Along with Ben's all-time favorite is Lee Greenwood that is there.
Oh yeah.
I saw Lee Greenwood at a Boy Scout jamboree in New Mexico, and they had the Blue Angels like fly overhead and turn the afterburners on when he was singing "I'm proud to be an American."
What other song is he gonna sing? Because that's the only song I've seen him perform live.
I have upset some other Americans about that song, because if you look on YouTube, there is "Proud to be Canadian," same words, just changed.
Yeah. All I'll say is, Tom, you definitely live in a patriotic nation.
Yeah.
You know, and do up Memorial Day weekend quite right. And the first time that we were at a NASCAR event, you know, you don't realize the pre-race ceremony celebrating Memorial Day is going to take 2+ hours.
Oh yeah, they don't mess.
Okay,
it's 3.
And I'm sitting in 95-degree heat, you know, and there's a lot of it. And I'm just like, you know, and no offense to any Americans, I was just like, are they laying it on a touch thick? You know, because it's my first time. I didn't know, you know. And I was like, there's only one thing left.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Doug went,
It was funny because he says that to me. And so he goes, there's only one thing left. And I kind of knew what he was going for. And I was like, wait. And then it came on. And then Lee Greenwood started walking down through the stairs.
Yeah, like literally one
with a bunch
breath.
of military personnel.
Yeah, like one breath. And like the one thing I'm thinking of is all we need left is the cherry on top is Lee Greenwood and a fucking bald eagle. And he goes, wait for it. And then literally he comes out on stage and I damn near passed out because I'm like, what in the actual, you know, something like
I'd been there before, so I knew it was coming.
Yeah, he knew it was coming.
Yeah, they brought a professional animal, you know, a bird trainer, whatever they're called, with a real bald eagle out.
Yep.
This was the 1980 something National Boy Scout Jamboree. I was in the Boy Scouts that I was at. But the coolest part, because I could give a shit about Lee Greenwood or the song, but the coolest part was that's the only time I've ever been that close. They were only like, you know, I'm guessing, you know, 500 or 1,000 yards up, and you could feel the heat, and you're like, okay, I'm just this little thing. Like,
I think the first year the flyover, because we were up in the stands too, it was like a B-52 bomber. So I was just like, we're looking at it at like damn near eye level. I'm like, that's loud.
That's a cool experience.
I used to work in air base, so I knew it was going to be loud.
Yeah, I remember my first experience. My dad was stationed in Camp Lejeune in North Carolina when I was a little kid. And we lived on base, and we went to like a tank demonstration. And then they had a Harrier take off. And my mother said, I think I must have been about a year or two old. And she's like, you just bawled your eyes out, you know, like.
No.
See you, Ryan.
My
It is
hardest thing
Hang
is
on. It is 2:45 a.m. for Ryan. So you crashed, buddy. He had the gin. He had the smokes.
Nice.
I want to welcome. We've got Mad Raj in the house. RJ, the Mad One.
Oh, nice. Hey, RJ, what's up, man?
Sandra is back and unfucking believable.
You know what? People that say that if they actually go, it's totally bizarre. But about the loud things, the shitty thing is that they for Sunday they practiced the one flyover on Friday morning at 7 a.m.
Oh,
which is 4 Blackhawks at about 100 feet. Yeah,
the same ones that followed us down from New York State.
I can only imagine because I'm on a flight path, and I only found out after I was in the house about a month. I must be on a direct flight path, and I know kind of where the hospital is, but it's a medevac flight path, and they only get down to like, I think 500 or maybe even 1,000 feet or something, and I can hear it. And when they get real low, I guess when they, I don't know the whole logistics of why they have to fly lower at some points, but I mean, you can hear the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh with all your doors and windows closed. So I can only imagine that low at 7 a.m.
I'm going to come back to that in a sec. We do have a
do it
question
4 times.
New name in the chat. Welcome. Nunya Biz. Love it. When my father lived in Austin as a kid, he was friends with Roky Erickson's of the 13th floor elevators, younger brother. Have you heard of them, Ben? I have. I remember watching a documentary or two on the Austin music scene because I've always been a real big fan of Austin and hearing about them. I couldn't name a song, but the name does ring a bell. Plus, I've been into the performance-enhancing beverages, which are not exactly enhancing at this point. There we go. And Unfucking Believable says Roky rules. There we are. But yeah, I do remember one of the last years we went down, Doug. We were driving through upstate New York. Actually, no, it wasn't one. It was 1 year. We'll just say 1 year.
Yeah, that was kind of
when we were through upstate New York. I think I was driving. All of a sudden, I see my rearview mirror bent. 4 or 5 Blackhawks in the rearview mirror following the interstate. I'm like,
and they freaking followed us all the way to North Carolina, like.
Exactly. Like literally, we drive through the night, Tom. We drive through the night, and every few hours,
the border.
There they are.
Wow.
Sunrise. What? There they are. They come over a mountain. There they are. I'm like, what the deuce? We didn't realize. And then we hear over the PA system, and all the way from upstate New York, blah, 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 with their flyover. We're like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, Ben, you actually packed something you weren't supposed to?
Yeah, that was the running joke. Doug kept saying, you didn't pack anything you weren't supposed to, right? And then
unless you guys had a nuclear bomb or something, I don't think
I had a very irate fiance going, you didn't pack anything, did you? I'm like, really? You're fucking believing Doug? Are you that much of a moron? Yeah, they somehow scanned us at the border, but are letting us go just to fuck with us over multiple states.
I somehow don't think they'd scramble jets for anything less than like a terroristic, an explosive device or something, because the fuel of those things is, you wouldn't believe it if people told you what the fuel costs per hour to run one of those,
Dan in New Jersey was once on his way to Montreal in the 70s, and an F-15 buzzed him on the highway. Nice. New York State.
I've talked to people that have said they crashed their car because of a low flyover, because the sonic boom bumped them and like shook them up enough that they literally just crashed.
Oh, yeah. You get it when you're working out on the flight line at a military base, too. Or when you're working up in one of the higher towers.
Oh,
it is very top.
The only flyover that's ever got me was they did the first job. You weren't down, Ben. They had the stealth bomber come over. And
they had the stealth bomber 1 year when I was there.
Okay, were you there? Okay, you were there with me. And, I didn't know.
I remember going
right there.
Yeah, us being that, because we were sitting around 30th row in the stands, which are already elevated. So we were at more or less eye level as it flew over. And as it flew over, I was like, okay, I get it, because there's the aircraft. I can hear it over here, and it's not like it's flying by fast, so it's the Doppler effect. It's literally, it projects its sonic signature off itself to the point where I'm like, okay, I get that. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like, it was already gone by the time we actually really heard it.
Yeah, literally, it passed over turns 1 and 2, and all of a sudden, whoa, coming in over 3 and 4, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, it makes you realize why when people say they're more akin to flying trains than flying boats, because they're just, I mean, really, it's just a flying mass of steel, you know what I mean? And aluminum, I guess.
Oh, we've got in breaking news. I've received a text from Lawrence Petros of LPD Pedals, lpdpedals.com. He just wants to say that
Night, Amanda.
Unfucking believable here mentioned how he's liking his LPD limited delay. He ordered the nice Drive A too, as well as that delay. So nice. Thanks for the feedback. Unfucking believable.
Nice. So is there a name on the delay?
I don't know. I just said, I just read this on air. LOL. And I just sent another text, and I want a delay.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, see you, Cushman. Have a good one. And Baron Guitar, I don't know if I said hello earlier. Well, there we go. There's the best. The delay is unfucking believably awesome. I like what he did there.
I see what you did there.
And no name on it. Looks like my sister's headed out too. All right, fine. Leave, sis. Fine. If you don't want to hang out with your family, fine.
Fine, we get it.
Ugh. I was going to say, if I get another super chat, I'm doing another shot of shine.
Oh.
And if it's good enough, someone's having an edible.
I'm not going to make a comment over Hobo Roadie's comment because it could go either way.
I just read that comment.
Is it the car or was it her?
Yeah.
Saw that.
Was the escort made by Ford or the parents?
Baron Guitar said, so Borat 2. I haven't watched it yet. I guess there's a second Borat movie that's on.
Yeah, there's just that. There's that one scene that's.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah, there's one scene going around. I'm not going to comment on the scene, but yeah, there is a scene going around.
Somebody tucking in his shirt a little too long.
Oh.
Aggressive shirt tucking.
Yes.
My favorite line was, "This is my sister. We pretend we are husband and a wife." And I saw in an interview, they asked about that specifically. It was some European TV station, and he said that it was an actual Polaroid that he had his buddy take of him having sex with his girlfriend, like fully graphic photograph, like hardcore photo. And he showed it to those guys in the movie, and he says, "This is my wife. This is my sister. We pretend we are husband and a wife." And it's when he shows those like Southern guys.
Hey, Layla's Guitar Daddy, welcome.
You know. He goes, I forget what he goes to see him for. He goes to meet up with them for something, but I'm like, just to go to that level of, for a joke that he actually gets a real Polaroid of him and his girlfriend.
Oh, we got Lawrence texting again. He says, haha, well, hopefully they'll be available soon. I just got a prototype boards for the tap delay, chorus, and reverb. Oh, I probably shouldn't read that. Never mind. All right. Yeah. I just wrote all of a sudden. Okay. Yeah. That's some insider knowledge right there.
None you biz said it's probably going to suck as much as Joe Dirt 2 did. I never saw Joe Dirt 2, so I'm just hoping that Terry, you should chime in he said he already watched it 2 nights ago. I'm wondering what Terry thought too. I'm just hoping that it was like leftover footage from the first Borat, and then maybe it's
Hey, Dave Ennis.
The U.S. to give his daughter to President Trump is the main premise of Borat 2. I gotta.
Apparently, the bar is low if you're reaching in that bag of edibles for a $2 super chat.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have an ear.
Man, I miss edibles. That's one thing that was cheap in California. God damn, they were cheap.
Good.
Actually, should we put that? Yeah, you know what? We're almost 2 hours into the show. We'll put it in the vote to the chat. We were thinking about doing an all edibles show, Tommy and me, folks, where each super chat, at least I will eat an edible, and we'll see where it goes from there. It'll be like every $5 super chat, I'll eat an edible, to the point of I have no problem going well over 100 milligrams on a show.
Yeah, I have to make sure I don't make each edible like 100 milligrams. Make each one like 5 milligrams. You know,
Robot Master Switch immediately, 100% do it.
Make the dollar equate to the milligrams. Otherwise, I'll be like, I'll be sitting here like this.
Yeah, and the only reason I mentioned it'd be super chat based, folks, is because they're very expensive in Canada. So,
oh yeah, here too.
I'm gonna say
I have a feeling I'll probably be going through probably $100 worth of edibles on air that night.
Me too.
With the breaking news that I just seen, I may need one too.
Oh,
which is real breaking news.
Okay.
Non-music related, but 1,042 new cases today in the province of Ontario.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a new record.
Yes.
Wow.
Hey, all good, Dave. He's like, sorry, Ben, I was sleeping. All good, buddy.
Uneffing Believable said I would watch and have 911 on speed dial, 911 on speed dial. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right.
Dude, go 500 milliliters of chat. Yeah, and maybe not.
Robot Master, how blast are you guys playing at getting? I would like to have Tom drooling and me grasping and trying to hit the end broadcast button. Like, you know, really struggling to end the stream.
Like to get up and get a blanket is like about the amount of effort as it would take to make a boat.
And chances are we hit end broadcast and both of us end up just sleeping in chairs as is. And then we wake up looking at each other off air going, oh, good morning.
And then we realized we were in the waiting room the whole time, never on air.
Yes, Robot Master Switch, I agree. Yes, because the last time I got the edibles, I was in California and I bought, you know, it was one of those, they had a set of gummies that were 125 milligram, 250 milligram, or 500. I'm like, obviously the 500.
You know, they stopped selling the 250s and 500s in a lot of places in California because people were just, they had no experience. Like someone who should be taking a 2.5 or a 5 milligram was like, 250? Okay. And, you know, for the next 15 hours, they're like sitting there drooling. But they had, I remember Joey Diaz used to always talk about, he gave them to Lee and he gave him 250s, I think. Yep, Kyan, go ahead. So he had 500 milligrams. And he was, yes, you can, honey. And he was not ready for it. And he goes, what did you give me, these 2 stars? And he goes, Lee, those are stars of death. They called them the Death Stars. They were these dark.
I wish I could have tried
blackish color. You know,
really. All I know is I had like fruit by the foot, but it was enjoyment by the foot. And I was eating, I don't know, 100, 150 milligrams each day at NAM.
Yeah.
You know, and that was just, and having pints at the same time. And if you came across something else being consumed while you're there. And, you know, it's just, and I was just me. I wasn't sober, but I was definitely me.
Oh man, we're gonna have to hit up Robot Master Switch. Said he's got a spare bedroom if you're ever in California, Ben.
Whereabouts in California is Master Switch? Mr. Master Switch?
I don't remember. I remember he had mentioned it, and I remember it's a really nice area. Like that's one thing I remember. Like, ooh, 1,000 milligram brownies. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, each 1/10 of a brownie, right?
NorCal. Okay, good to know because I almost got stranded in Northern California once. So
Robot's in the area of the most glorious cannabis in the world at this point.
Oh, and message to Unfucking Believable. Lawrence was asking if he was in the chat. I told him yes. I gave Lawrence your feedback regarding the delay. He's sending me various laughing emojis and says, good to hear. The one he has, the analog delay, the tap delay, is digital. Okay. Awesome.
Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back.
There we go. Entertaining television or enter Google, whatever, while I text and Tom leaves and Doug's going, I don't play. So there we are.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. What? Yeah. That sounds good. That sounds good. I'm down. Spare bedroom and 30 guitars. Live stream? Done.
Yeah. I'm so
awesome. Okay, Lawrence is now just laughing at me. Hey, Bruce. Good to see you, man. Mark Taft. Good to see you, sir. Got some internet, I see. Oh, excuse me. Yes, Doug. Mark's been having some internet issues. That's why he has been tuning into our other dealio together. Yes, unbelievable. LPD is putting out a digital delay with tap tempo, apparently. Apparently. I'm not going to say it's the first quarter of next year. You didn't hear that from me. Awesome. Well, I think that shine just hit bottom.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's the same thing with me, guys. Like, I don't drink until I'm on your show.
I don't drink unless I do YouTube for the most part. But that kind of happens when we get together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Hey, the name I get to sing. Thomas Santiago. Well, Doug.
Yep, there you go. I was
you
thinking
saw that, right?
The 30 guitars, there's really nothing in it for me. But now there is.
But now there is. That's right. And for those who don't know, Mr. Taft bought that Jackson guitar from me. Enjoy it, brother, man. Enjoy it. And yes, Laz, I am aware, and I do appreciate. We got a place to crash in the Bay Area.
What's in the Bay Area?
San Francisco. Oakland, San Jose. I don't know. You saw that from Robot Master Switch. He's a Motorhead.
Yeah.
So everyone should, Robot, you should check out our NAS Canucks podcast together.
I think, is that anywhere near that other thing I used to talk to you about that got canceled this year? Which I cannot remember the name of it right now.
Fuck. Like, I have a clue what you're discussing. I'm just thinking, man, I'm feeling pretty good. Wow. RJ's waiting for a new solar guitar. Nice. It'll come to you.
Yeah, it will.
Is that the cornhole tournament?
Surf rodeo.
Yeah, nowhere near it.
Okay.
No, because that's the north end of LA. San Francisco is about a 4-hour drive north. All right. Sandra, could you put, if you're still here, Sandra, can someone put the NAS Canucks link in the chat for Robot Master Switch, please? I'm surprised I can still say NAS Canucks at this point. That shine is like sweet cherry wine. I wish. No, that's straight corn, whiskey, white lightning. The good stuff. Start your car, get you fucked up, whatever you need. Wonder when Tom's coming back.
Oh, Sandra just beat me to it.
My chat is so
I'll be
delayed.
right there.
That's okay, Tom. I'm just throwing you under the bus.
I had to get Cayenne.
Tom looks like he's had a little bit of surgery since the last time we seen him.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, it kind of looks like EBH now.
I got a lot better at guitar since you saw me, and I got younger, and I got more muscular, better looking, you know.
And you grew hair.
Oh, what happened? Oh, damn.
Shit, how do I turn that off? There we go. There we go.
Bruce,
Bruce,
calling you Ty.
No, it's about 110 proof.
This is here. I'll show you. This is the picture Tommy wanted me to show you.
Nice.
And no, that's not
Ben.
blood on my face because I was always getting hurt.
Back in a second.
All right. Apparently, Robot Master Switch sub to the NAS Canucks channel. Awesome.
I found all these
Appreciate
old pictures. I found here. This is me when I was 14. That's not clear. There you go.
Hang on, I gotta expand you here because I guess look at that guy with those long flowing locks, a VH shirt, and the infamous Les Paul studio.
At my grandmother's old house, yeah.
See, I pay attention, brother. I pay attention. You know I love you.
That's the Les Paul I just got back. Yep.
Deja Blue, hello and welcome. Yes, a while back. I don't think it was that long ago. Hey Ben, a while back said Musicraft may start bodies again, and after they catch up on next, you talk with them. All right, awesome. Thank you for mentioning that because I don't remember where that was. Because again, I'm a little fucked up. But yes, I did not speak directly with Musicraft. However, a good friend of mine, David Nesdahl, Tom knows about Dave. Doug might not. I don't know.
Dave's.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Expert on things related.
Okay, so as you know, thank you, Tone Talk. Thank you for the point of reference. I do appreciate it. David Nesdahl, he is he's on pretty good terms with Musicraft, deals with them, I would say, at least on a monthly basis by the sounds of thing, Tom, between his own builds as well as customer builds.
Yeah.
And he had mentioned it on a live stream this past week. Again, I'm a little fuzzy. So this week or last week, he had just mentioned on a recently show of his, Nez Says, N-E-Z-D-E-Z, or S-E-Z. God damn. See, I can't think. But he had mentioned that and so I was just relaying the info to you. But yeah, hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. As long as they get caught up on next, they're going to start reintroducing bodies again.
Oh, cool.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah, he told me that was the best one to get if you want to try and recreate something like they do, or even if you just want to make your own like high-end parts caster where you're like, I want a custom shop level type guitar, but I'm going to do this stuff myself. Like he said they're one of the big ones.
I'm a little partial to Boogie Bodies, the OG.
Oh yeah.
And only the main reason is because now friend of the channel, Adam Reaver of FU Tone owns Boogie Bodies.
Oh, nice.
And I have received a couple of necks from him.
Yeah.
And they are amazing.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. I didn't know he was selling those now. Very cool.
Yeah, and he's got in some different necks recently. So
oh, cool.
Really? Sandra says streaming 2 hours 50 watching 80 thumbs ups. Awesome. Thank you so much, folks. I'm seeing 51 watching. Just past the 2 hour mark. We'll go for a while longer.
You always get me like, oh yeah, we're not gonna be long this time. 3 hours later, yeah, we're done.
So Deja Blue was thinking what I was thinking.
You don't have to stay the whole show, Doug, but you just stick around,
because it's fun.
You should talk in the chats a bit there, so people can sub to you as well.
Yeah, well, I had to go off camera there for a second because I got excited.
A little too excited.
I seen a top, but it was just another empty moonshine jar.
Oh, that's so frustrating.
Another dead soldier.
I just have empty moonshine jars laying around.
See, it runs in the family, Tom. It runs in the family.
I have a half full one here someplace.
I have little empty containers.
I cannot find it.
3 and 3.5 and 7 grams in all over the place.
Nice. Welcome, Mike. Good to see you, man.
Very cool. I didn't know that. Great information.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Gary, you are right. That is why I'm here.
Sandra, you are right. Rycooter is a beast.
See,
and
the thing is, Robot Master Switch really doesn't know me. If you watch the last NAS Connect show, you will see why.
All right. Are we looking for longevity or overall power, Robot Master Switch? Because for overall power, we're going to go with Chevy 383, hands down. But that Boss 302 is going to last you for miles and miles and miles and miles. Hey, Bumblebess.
I just know that it starts up when you turn key.
Where do you buy boogie bodies? Good question.
A boogie store.
Boom. Okay. Yeah, I got it. I'll post this link because there we are. Tell them Ben sent you. Adam's a good friend of the channel. They are on the FU-Tone website, and I just threw it in the chat. Awesome.
Unfucking believable. I'm not chasing empties. I know there's a half jar that's half full. I don't know where it's at.
And upon that, I believe that is Gauntlet laid down. Unbelievable. Actually, unfucking believable. If you would like to come on the channel sometime, email me at the email down below and we'll set it up. I believe so, Deja Blue. Yeah, Adam's had that for a while. Bruce points out 351 Windsor is my favorite Ford motor. Yeah, that's a good one. That was used a long time in NASCAR. The Cleveland is nice. Same dimensions, but it isn't considered a big block. I like the Cleveland. I also like the 429 Cobra Jet, of course. And Ford also had a Hemi. Everyone thinks Hemi. They think Dodge, but Ford also had a Hemi.
Didn't know that.
I believe it was a 429 hemispherical head. Wow, that's a big word to talk about this time of night.
Yeah. I was looking at that one you posted, the neck, the large banana headstock. Boogie Body's neck looks nice, man.
Nice.
22 fret.
Best cheap car to drop in a crate motor, tranny, and a 4-link.
See, I'm out on this one too.
If you can find it, a 68 to 72 Chevy Nova. Basically same wheelbase and width as a Camaro, but less than half the price. Well, the invitation's open, buddy. The invitation's open.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've had some shows where I've had, like 30 thumbs down. So, whatever.
And I've never been a part of one of them.
No, it's usually the more I get, every time I get a super chat, I'll get more thumbs downs. Seems to be. Although I think I'm also the only guy that did a Eddie Van Halen tribute video on YouTube that has 11 thumbs down somehow. That's my special followers and subscribers.
Hey, they're still watching. They got, obviously
they're watching a second, or they're probably thumb downing it while the video is loading and don't even bother letting the video load.
Right.
They're my special subscribers. I love them. Thank you, Sandra. Posted. She's on it. She's on it. I tell you.
Black market Oregon money. That's good.
So, do you want to know a funny video or channel to watch that's totally non-music related that I just get a kick out of? That's so relaxing.
Yeah.
That one video on Legendary Corn Dog. Oh, sorry, NASCAR. Not gonna go.
I have
Which channel, Doug? You want to try that again?
I don't know.
I have my own answer. Go ahead.
I've changed it.
All right. So I've come across this channel being a bit of a car guy. It's called Vice Grip Garage is the channel. He's got about 500,000 subs. And this guy will go out into a field and find a vehicle that hasn't run in like 30 years, buy it sight unseen, and try to get it running. And it is just the greatest stuff. And And he has a very unique way of doing things. And unfortunately, I'm just going to say it's crept into the way I shoot videos now, to the point where starting this week, I am pulling out another refin video. I've refinished another guitar. No, I'm not going to show it off and spoil it, because I shot 2+ hours of video, and it's a 3 or 4 part fucking series or so. I don't know. It was big. And, but this guy, yeah, he's like, stuff will go wrong. And I just remember he said, like, what was it? He'd be like, he'd step into a car and he'd get inside to go and start it. You know, in some cars, if they've been sitting, they smell after a while, Tom. You get a certain, especially if water leaks in.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, this smells like an old grain elevator and Pop-Tarts. And it's like the most random two thing. You're like,
yeah.
What would that smell like? You know?
Yeah, that's great. I'll have to check it out. Oh,
Thank you, Sandra. Yeah, you know, just I don't know. Tell him Ben said. See you, Mark. Have a good one. No, I didn't refin the telly. I will say, I refinished my Talent Les Paul Jr. So.
What color?
You'll have to see.
There you go.
It started as one, ended up another, because I did it the right way, which is one of his, oh man, what's his name? Derek from Vice Grip Garage.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody mentioned, yeah, he came up in their feed this week. Yeah, he's really taken off. And I swear, he's from Minnesota. He's a good old farm boy. He's so laid back. And one of his best lines, you know, when something impresses you, well, I'll be, whatever. And he'll just say, well, I'll be dipped. And I'm like, what the hell line it? Well, I'll be dipped. So if you hear me say that on a show, that's why.
The first picture I see of him, he's wearing an American flag, button up, short sleeve, like 3/4 length dress shirt with an eagle on the front, cowboy hat, and he has like an old school like Winchester revolver. I'm sorry, yeah.
Exactly, Sandra.
Oh, too many substances. Not a revolver.
Thank you, David.
Repeater. Thank you.
There is another. I do have another channel, and just so you don't have to go there to check out a video. Ben, can you give me a thumbs up?
Yeah, because I figured this is what you're doing at this point. I'm doing that well tonight, am I?
It won't even run anymore. There you go.
Go ahead.
Doors on sale.
Okay, so this is what's actually playing.
The doors on sale.
Come on, take names.
When the man thinks I'm trying to take a picture, but it's actually just a video. Yeah.
And you can tell it's a while ago because I have short hair.
How to keep Ben suspended? Just try to take a picture of him, but you're actually taking video.
That's awesome, Dave Annis. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, just some of the combinations, like this smells, or
Hey, Bumblebest.
checking spark plugs. Wow, that gap was bigger than Shakira's thighs.
I'm
like, whoa, okay.
One of my former college classmates, RJ and mine, is the drummer for Shakira now. Brendan.
That's not RJ.
No, RJ knows him though. RJ knows him, I'm sure, way better than I do. I haven't seen him for years, but nicest guy. Seems Brendan Buckley, but phenomenal drummer too. But I didn't know he was
Tommy,
playing with her.
You seem to pay attention to the channel better than I do most weeks,
Okay.
I've had RJ, our good friend RJ, on a few times now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Send me some good questions to ask him this week.
I should send you a picture of him.
You should. Maybe we'll use it as the
really short hair, kind of like an LL Bean Land's End type, like windbreaker, and 0 tattoos, or almost no tattoos, no visible tattoos.
Nice. Well, you know, I was thinking about using a photo of a blonde mohawk, you know, from the Ricky Martin.
That's a good one too, yeah. Oh, okay, I can tell you a couple things to ask him. Like, definitely ask him about, though, when he had, I won't mention any names for him or for other people, but, or where he lived at the time, but ask him about when he had the ferrets. He'll know what I mean. He had the ferrets, and at the same time, he had the Paul Stanley guitar.
No.
He didn't have the actual.
I didn't want to know about
it. It was that kind of Paul Stanley looking, kind of like an old Destroyer looking.
Iceman.
Yeah. Iceman, that was it. Thank you, not Destroyer. We're going deep now. But yeah, ask him when he had the Iceman and he had these ferrets and they would just be everywhere, just going everywhere, you know. That were fun times in Miami. And you can ask him about the backyard parties at the Quad. And if you just say the Quad, he'll know. And ask him about this guy named the Worm.
This sounds like it could be the last time RJ's on the channel, coming up this Sunday, folks. 1 week from tonight.
And I will say to Robot Master Switch, sorry.
Sorry. Yes, thank you, Sandra. And if anyone joins the channel as a member tonight at this point, fuck it, I'll do 2 shots of shine. Because why not?
RJ here, that's in the chat here. You don't want to be known for ferrets and a guitar? Turbos would be another story.
Well, yeah, I think everyone knows, you know, both Tommy and I are big fans, friends, whatever, of RJ's, and RJ Ronquillo, that is. And he's such an, you know what? I hit him up, Tom, yesterday or today. I just said, hey, man, you want to come on next week? And it was sure with a few exclamation marks.
He's the most genuine, like what you see if you watch his show or watch any of his videos. He's not bullshitting you. He's not Hollywood. I mean, even though that dude's played like, you know, some of the biggest gigs ever, played with tons of people, toured the world with Ricky Martin, never had a big head in his life. He is the guy you see. Like we went, when we were down in Miami, we went one time, he was going to teach me how to surf. And the only reason we had to leave, God bless him, is because the surfboard hit him in the head and popped his eardrum. And he couldn't get it wet. I remember he was freaking out.
Say, you of all people, you know, you would know better than anybody.
I mean, he's a genuine nice guy. Like you know, like the way you and Doug are with your, you know, with each other. Well, you're kind of dicks to each other, but the way you're nice with everyone else, he's the same kind of like. I've never seen him like disparage someone or talk shit about someone like in a mean way. He might say, well, that person's not my favorite, but he's just so positive. Like I've never met someone where there was no jealousy. I was like, he deserves everything he gets. Also, because what he won't tell you is, you know, like, yeah, he always talks about how he didn't want to spend too much time in class. He needed to spend time outside of class doing other stuff. But that guy would shed it like a motherfucker. Don't let him lie about it.
Right.
He practiced his ass off. He worked his ass off to get what he has. I mean, hours and hours a day, every day, you know.
He gets it.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Hey, he's the one YouTuber my dad approves of. You know, like I played him that song he wrote. Okay. No, actually, he doesn't approve.
I'm just getting nailed here.
Yeah,
he doesn't approve. No, but okay. RJ, I showed him RJ's video for Christina, the song he wrote for his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And he just went, yeah, ain't Tom, you know, you've watched the shows with my dad. And he just went, he gets it.
Yeah, I can see your dad saying that.
You know, because that's the old man's wheelhouse. He's like, who is this guy? I'm like, well, that's RJ. And he's like, he gets it.
I said I have to go because Karma's calling. So yeah, I gotta go before I get it.
I haven't heard this before hanging out with Doug. You know, usually we're down south, we're in lawn chairs. He's like, I gotta go. Karma's calling.
And there's that saying. I'm trying to make it not that saying.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining me, brother. Or sorry, cousin. Even though, you know,
Yeah.
We'll just add confusion.
All I gotta say is with what Tom said, with that friends close and enemies closer.
Love you too.
Well, I will say, brother Doug.
See you everyone later.
See you, man. See you Wednesday.
I will. Well, I will.
Doing something Wednesday.
I'll see you in the chat.
Wednesday? Yeah. NAS Canucks featuring myself, this guy.
I'm in the 6
Wednesday
o'clock.
at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, I believe.
3:30
3:30 p.m. Pacific. Moderated by this guy right here.
And even if you're at jiu-jitsu, you can watch it from your car.
Because if not, the eyes will be watching you.
Mm.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're done. Cousin Doug with a wink. Yeah, don't hold the door open, Doug. It's freezing in here, Doug. Shut the door. Shut the door. Oh my.
I'm waiting, for a Canadian subscriber to say that. Don't fucking hold those doors open. You're letting all the fucking heat out.
Oh man. I used to live when I lived in Pittsburgh, like at the top of the hill. And like you just see people like that, like these big gusts of wind, and they're like, what are you doing? Close the damn door.
Well, Crowbar showed up at the right time.
Crowbar?
Doug left. Crowbar shows up. Awesome. Well, we'll go for a few more minutes here.
The further we go off the rails.
Yeah. Well, we got like $7 worth of super chats tonight, so that'll pay the bills and keep the lights on for another day. It'll be fine. That's another line from Vice Grip Garage. Do some like token repair. It'll be fine. Or you open up a certain compartment, it's full of a mouse nest. Well, we'll just pretend we didn't see that.
That's cool though that he takes on those crazy projects.
Oh yeah, and then half the time it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to drive this car 400 miles home. So you get brakes on one wheel, maybe two.
Oh.
Really? Unbelievable? Really?
Moonshine and the lollipop. Lollipop's almost gone.
I was going to say, and I've got 2 beers and some shine into me. I'm going to have to break the seal at some point. Oh, Christ. Who the hell put the lid on this thing? Jesus. He must have been some, Hulkamaniac or something.
Asia Blue said that's a 6-pack.
Nice. Just got back from Steve's filming next week's Halloween special.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Very cool.
Nice. See, already forgotten. Yeah, already forgotten. Doug who? Yeah, I don't know. You know what helps you forget stuff? Good old alcohol.
There you go.
The cause of and cure to most of life's problems.
Cure the cause of and cure for memory problems, right? Memory ailments.
Woo. Wow.
A little fire.
Yeah, that's it's getting closer to room temperature now.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I can feel that right down the cockles. I'm going to be lucky to be able to talk in another 10 minutes. I'm already getting thick-tongued as it is. Circle of life, exactly.
The jar of life.
The jar.
Clear pee in a jar.
Well, that is an option. All right, at least Lawrence has stopped pestering me. He's too good to be hanging out in the chat. He's busy building pedals, but then he texts me, knowing full well that we are live. Like, does he forget that we're live? Did I mention the supporters of the channel? Probably not. That's okay. I'll do it tomorrow. They really sponsor tomorrow's show. I don't know what they do. Time to fire up Hamps and play. Yeah, I don't think the rest of the fam that, they're right above me, they would enjoy that too much.
Yeah, they might tend to frown upon that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna try something new tomorrow. I'm gonna go old school and do the tomorrow night show from the old cellular phone using the data. See if we can get it a little clearer. See what happens there.
Crowbar, I like that. Circle of life may produce a ring of fire tomorrow.
Well, there is that. Yeah, there's definitely that. So, yeah. All right. Any other gear questions, concerns, comments? I don't know about concerns. Tom,
Man.
I saw that new Telecaster, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks a little sketchy. I'm a little concerned. Oh dear Lord.
Oh Lord.
Keep it vertical. That's what she said. Oh, you know what? You may be doing solo duty for about a minute and a half there, Tom. I may have to go break the seal.
All right.
Which is rarely done on one of my hangouts. I haven't done one of those since at the old house, which was nice because I had the door off to the back patio right off the studio. So,
Oh, I think I got the half that had more in it. I forgot to tell you what. I put chili in the chocolate chili.
To Deja Blues comment, I say, that ain't no striker. All right, hang on. Oh, now I got to get up. Well, this is going to be a challenge. All right. Woo. Oh, yeah. Not so much the headiness, Tom, as the fact that my knees are locked up from sitting for 2.5 hours.
I thought you were going to tell me your knees were wavering.
Well, they've been better. I have the same red striker one here next to me. No, this is a Focus.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was a Focus series.
I never remember what the number is. 5,000, 6,000. Jeff Relic did, apparently, off the old chair here. 6,000.
Yeah, that's the highest end Focus. It's basically the same as the... which one is it the same as? The earlier one. Different headstock, but same body shape. What did you say? Was
it the Beretta?
I think it is.
Yeah, not a Pacer. A Pacer was a little rounder, I think.
Yeah. I think the Beretta basically, and the 6,000 was like the highest end one. The angled pickup had the nicer Floyd Rose, had all the different things. Now I know you did those upgrades. Were the electronics upgraded in that, or did it come with all the switches? Because I know some had like factory, like all kinds of crazy things going on.
No, factory switches. Oh, there. Moonshine burp. I did replace the one pot. That's a friend of the channel, Sean Silas, signature Bourne's audio pot.
Oh, Sean, great guy, man.
It is the higher friction. It's not low friction. I'm okay with that because I'm not doing cathedral. I'd rather have it not turn if I accidentally knock it.
Like an EVH guy, through and through, and having been a former employee in there and everything. Did Sean try to push the low friction Bourne pot, or he'd say, "Hey, get what you want, man"?
No, actually, again, friend of the channel, Michael Smith, the captain. The captain. Sean gave the captain one or two of these.
Oh, cool.
And then the captain offered it to me, but he checked with Sean first to see if it was okay. And Sean's like, yeah, fuck it. Okay, Ben's cool. I'm like, all right, thanks.
Now, I don't know.
Also, big brass block, noiseless springs, trim stop. And I must have been giving her the last time I was playing because I noticed the D-tuner is in the dropped position.
Ah.
Just saying.
Now, I don't know if everyone in the chat knows. I mean, I don't know if you can fill them in, like, Sean's history of, all of his experience and employment, like, building guitars.
Okay. Yeah. We can do that.
He does a ton of stuff.
Memory banks as I put guitar aside.
He's such a stylist. So many things, from the drone stuff to working building guitars to
does special effects, drone work, photography, can build a hell of a guitar, can play a hell of a guitar.
Yeah. Oh, he's amazing too.
And a super sweet guy.
The nicest guy. Like, first time I talked to him online, he was treating me like I was his friend of 30 years. He was like, yeah, man, if you email me anytime, if you have any questions about this stuff. I'm like, wow. Like, genuinely just a nice dude.
Let me think. He worked at EVH, and I think he also did Jackson runs for a number of years.
That's what I was
to the point where he was doing the setup, like I think pretty much like final setup / Q&A on every USA Wolfgang for like a 4 to 5 year period.
And he said too.
I know
like artist stuff too, like custom.
Yeah,
stuff.
I was gonna say dealer exclusive, like Music Zoo stuff. I know because friend of the channel R2R3 Locking Nut has a Music Zoo exclusive Jackson.
Yeah.
That was built by Sean.
Right.
You know, and it's kind of, that's the awesome thing about the whole YouTube community is, you know, here's a guy that built a guitar doing his job. Yeah. And then we got another guy who ends up with the guitar and they end up being aware of each other. And yeah, like LPD, a genuinely nice dude. Yeah. Lawrence, you know, I always feel a little bad because the first time I met Lawrence, I ignored him, Tom.
Well, Lawrence is so humble. Like he's just such like a humble dude for how intelligent and how, you know, deep he is, you know.
Well, what happened? I was at my first NAMM show, you know, 2019, January. I'm hanging out with brother James as usual, you know, partner in crime. We're coming inside from having something, who knows. And I went, holy crap, that's Phil McKnight over there. And so we walk over to meet Phil McKnight. And hanging out with Phil McKnight was his friend, Lawrence Petros.
Oh, wow, cool.
And I just went, hey, how you doing? Anyways, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, and kudos to both those gentlemen because NAMM is a, you know, time-specific thing. And we stood there and talked for a good 45 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And out of that 45 minutes, I talked to Lawrence for about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes of it. And afterwards, I was like, I really should have talked, you know, that guy seemed cool, you know. And so, but it was funny because Phil and I were talking YouTube a lot, as much as anything else, you know, and just whatever. And so after that, I think it was a month or two later, I contacted Lawrence. I'm like, hey, you know, we met at NAMM, blah, blah, blah. Would you like to come on? Sure. And dude, within 15 minutes of hanging out like this, I'm like, I like you. You're a cool guy.
Yeah. Well, I think he gets it too, because he's a very, and I don't know if everyone knows this, but Lawrence teaches a lot as well and is a very accomplished player in his own right. Both, you know, his playing, he's a great player, but also his pedagogy, his knowledge of theory and of musical structure and the ability to teach it. You know, he's a really deep guy. So I think that translates into knowing how to maneuver a circuit, which I'm crap at and have very little knowledge of. He's got all, you know, amazing amount of knowledge about that, but he's also a great player. So he knows what a player wants to hear.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of times you either get just a player trying to hobble something together or just an engineer trying to guess what a player wants, you know?
Yeah.
But it translates because his stuff, you know, his stuff's different in the way that players notice. Like, yeah, maybe this sounds close, but it doesn't feel anything like it. Like, you know, his stuff blindfold feels the same.
Right. Yeah. It's weird. Yeah.
I set up with my
see a blackjack guitar nut. Have a good night,
brother. With my son, did a blindfold with my old, you know, Marshall, and then I set my 87 like on the green, fairly clean, through a twin reverb, and I mashed it up, and I had my son Kyan just, you know, I was using a little splitter box to do A/B, and I couldn't tell the difference.
Right.
Because I turned it off, turned it on, and then I said, all right, hit it like a couple times, and he just randomly starts hitting it a bunch of times. So I didn't know what I was starting on. Because you know what you're starting on, you're already cheating. So I had to start from one, turn it off, turn it on again, hit it a bunch of times, then start. And I couldn't. I was like, you know, I think I got 40% of the time I got it right, which is about what you should expect, you know, within a 10% difference. I said, that's close enough.
It's like, you know, the biggest thing that lately that impressed me was when I finally got a 68. You know, that supposedly sounds like a plexi. And unlike every other plexi in a box I played, this one was hard to dial in. And I'm like,
I bet.
Isn't that supposed to be the way a plexi is? It's hard to dial in.
Yeah, the EQ is funky.
I don't like, you know, that's the one thing. I'm like, I don't want just there's that Marshall plexi tone that's easy to dial. Like, no, you got to fight a plexi to get your tone. You know that better than anybody.
Yeah, I think a lot of people make pedals that they think are what, like, say, an amp, like a plexi sounds like after it's been processed, and it goes through a 1073, and it has an LA2A on it, and, you know, the compression and the delay and the reverb. At that point, it doesn't even sound like a Plexi anymore.
Right.
Like, but people assume, you know, that's what it is. I'm like, I loved Pete Thorne's series about amps in the room, because you really could hear that's what an amp. And even you saw Pete, and he's, God, he blows my mind. And his cleanness, you could really hear in that, because he was even fighting it.
Right.
And you could see the guys that weren't used to playing a Plexi were like struggling.
Well, you know, it's funny. Even today, I was jamming before I sent you the link. Okay.
Mhm.
And as you know, I have Lawrence's Lost Dutchman, which I love.
Which
And, you know, and I use it in that lower gain setting. But surprisingly, I have the gain level set less on the Lost Dutchman than, say, on the 68.
Okay.
But when I switched to the 68, it was a much cleaner tone than even a mild overdrive, mildly. I was just like, yes, that's the whole point. Like, Marshall, that a Plexi doesn't break up unless you dime it.
Yeah. And it's crazy from even one to the next. Like, someone's like, well, if he's got a 68, why does he have a 74? Why does he have an 87? I said, have you ever owned any old Marshalls? And I said, you know, and I was, you know, talking to someone in real life, and they're like, no, I don't want to spend all that money on there. I'm like, you don't have to buy an old one. I mean, an old style circuit. Even if it's a new clone, it doesn't matter. I was talking to this guy that I know locally here. And I said, no. The difference is, like, for example, I used to own a real, you know, 6,800 watt Plexi, and that, and what I have now, my 71, the 71 is closer to like it's a late 71. So it's closer to that like 72, 74 circuit. Right. And the difference between the 68 I had and the 71 I have now, which is closer, and Lawrence could tell you much better than me, but as the circuits went, they changed, even though it was still a 1959 circuit, it changed a little bit, you know.
It did. Yeah, it was a little easier to get that gain because because of course by 71, Marshall had seen over, you know, for the last 3, 4, 5 years.
My 68 was clean as hell, and to the point where you literally, to get any breakup, and I have old videos that have horrible playing because I had literally not played for like 5 years. And then I started playing like that week and put up some videos. So it's horrendous playing, but it's the only videos I've left. I've probably privated most of them, but there might be still some on my channel. But that's my 68 Plexi in those videos, and it's going straight into a 212 cabinet, which is like a 1/4 open back, not the full opening.
Right.
And it had a 30 watt, it was like a warehouse speaker or something like that, but it was a clone of like a 30 watt blackback, like a late 70s style. And the other one was a vintage 30 because they needed more wattage.
Sure.
And the only thing I had between the head and the cabinet was a little attenuator, which was literally was made by a company called Recycled Sound, and it was literally just a big inductor, or, you know, basically it was an attenuator, but it was basically working off of like a dummy speaker motor, so it was just sucking up energy, basically, not trying to change anything. And that brought it down, I think, maybe 12 dB. But other than that, it was straight into that cabinet, and I just rolled all the knobs to 10. And you can see in that video, you can get close to that kind of sound, not anywhere close to the playing, but the tone is just like that. But under your fingers, I'm like, that's the one amp I should have never sold.
Yeah, that's a head I would only want to play outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be inside with that. I don't want to play a Plexi on.
Yeah, I literally shattered a light in a bedroom from the vibration of it.
I believe it. It
was a great amp, though.
I agree. Unbelievable. Set the 87 on stun, and it crushes.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to get the new 87 just to see if there is any difference.
I know. I want one just because of the way it looks.
I don't know. That too.
The fact that both sides of the pedal too are like if he could ever do that, even in not like a big deluxe, but even in the same size with like 2, you know, foot switches right next to each other, and just so it can switch, you know, so you can still have the on off, but the other one is a green red switch.
Right.
You know, in between it, like, you know, that's what's making me want to almost buy 2 of them, because I'll sit there and just go, okay, green, okay, red, okay, green, okay, red.
Yeah, I don't understand, like, you know, like obviously that's a good pedal, and sorry folks if we're just nerding out on LPD for a minute, but guess what? Get one and you'll understand. You know, like the fact that both channels,
I paid for all mine. I just like them.
yeah, both channels are so good that if he had released the 87 as
2 pedals,
yeah, like I don't know what you would call it, the 82 and the 87.
dude, you read my mind though. That could have been 2 pedals. Sorry, Lawrence. We shouldn't say that, but
yeah, well,
it's inexpensive for a handmade boutique pedal, considering it's really 2 distinct pedals almost. In my, you know, like you could see it as a rainbow spectrum, but if you there's a big chop in the middle, and it overlaps, but I mean, it's definitely this one style Marshall, and it's definitely this one totally other style Marshall. You know, it's not like
Unbelievable's idea. You know, get them all and you'll understand.
Well, I hate there's guys that make pedals, and I won't name any, but they'll make pedals, and it's literally, and I'm sure Lawrence has looked at these and just laughed. It's one circuit, yet they call it a 2-channel or 3-channel circuit pedal. No, it's one circuit, and they put a little booster on it, and they call that a separate channel. I'm like,
yeah.
On.
Or yeah, it's 3 channels. One is a volume lift, and the other is a saturation lift.
Yeah.
Okay, so so you're hitting a boost before and you're hitting a boost after. So you've added 2 boost circuits. Whoop, you fucking do.
Instead of a pull switch that takes the EQ out of the circuit, you know, you hook it up in a different way where, oh, you're changing channels. No, you're not. You're just dumping the EQ.
Yeah.
You're getting a little more gain, but you know, come on. It's just funny, but no.
All right. Here we go. Bruce asks, Ben, should I run my delays and reverb pedals in the effects loop only? It depends. If you're running your amp dirty, yes. If you're running your amp clean like I do, I dump everything right into the front of the amp.
Also, what kind of delay are you talking? I mean, because if you've got it like a very short slapback analog kind of delay, or like tape echo, tape delay style echo, you might want to run it in the front, depending on what you're doing. If you're doing like Van Halen, run it straight into the front. But then again, that amp you're going into is not that dirty. You know, if you're going into a high gain amp, you might run into problems with that kind of thing in the front. So I guess it depends.
Which made me think of the thing I disagreed with Dave Friedman on Tone Talk on Friday night. Well, he says you have to run a Phase 90 in front of your dirt. And I'm like, you have to run it post dirt.
Does he mean, is he talking about even like on a higher gain amp?
He's like, always run your Phase 90 before your dirt. And I'm like,
I mean, he knows a lot more than me, but I personally don't agree. I would think it depends on the amp you're playing with.
That works if you're going for an Eddie sound, definitely.
Yeah, maybe that's what he meant.
Or if you want, if your phaser is too much and you want to tame it, because you're going to turn it down by 1/3 of its effect, basically, by putting pre-gain.
Right.
Whereas I like it post-gain because I want it to not just take my signal, but like stranglehold it and go, no, you're mine, bitch. You know, and that's what a Phase 90 post-gain is, all over the place. And I'm like, yeah, I can play no usable notes while that effect is on. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it depends how you're using it. You know what I mean? It's like, one way almost seems like putting a translucent cover of the effect on, whereas the other way seems like you mix the effect in, like you put food coloring into something, like it's in there and it's not coming out. You know what I mean? Like
exactly. Let's see here. We've got a few. Bruce says, how many distortions can be run before signal loss and a grab? It depends on the distortion, like high, medium, or low gain. I can stack 3 to 4 low gains and not have a problem. High gains, not really more than 1, maybe 2. Yeah, that's kind of a hard one. Unbelievable puts his Phase 90 post 87 because he's a man and a boss. Awesome. Carrion Hardy, new name in the chat. Hello and welcome. Hey, Ben, you don't have to answer this. Well, I'm going to. Sorry. But I'm an acoustic player who wants to move on to electric, and I want to play rock stuff. What should I get?
Good question.
All right, so you're an acoustic player. So chances are, Tom, watch this, because you know I'm not sober. But I'm just gonna
let you go though. But you've got good retail experience that you can give her good advice. So
all right, so you're an acoustic player. So chances are you're gonna play like an 11 gauge string, maybe 10s at lightest. You're used to a certain scale length, which is a little shorter. I'm gonna recommend as your first electric an Epiphone Les Paul. You can go which one, but I do recommend with coil tap, because you may discover you like the single coil sound, not necessarily full humbucker. Go with an Epiphone Les Paul to start with. As well, I was thinking Telly originally, but just in case you want a humbucker sound, go with an Epiphone Les Paul. It's a slightly shorter scale length, which is similar to the majority of acoustics I've played. They usually ship with 10s from the factory, similar to what you're playing already. Also, a larger fretboard radius, like an acoustic. See, I thought this shit out.
Yeah, that's right.
What do you think, Tommy boy?
The Epiphone Les Paul is a 12-inch radius. Is that right? Just like a Gibson would have?
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yeah. So that's going to be closer to that. What you were saying, I would agree. And what you were saying is if you want something that's a little less expensive, what you were talking about with the Telecaster, I know there's a lot of the newer Squier brands. If she's looking for something that's, because I think I want to say new, at least in US, the Epiphone Les Pauls, I want to say, are in the 500 range. I think that's the best choice in that range for someone coming from acoustic like that. If you want something more affordable, I would say, like you were saying, Telecaster, like any of those. What are the newer Squier models, the really nice ones that are in? I think they're in the $200-$300.
Ideally, if you can find a humbucker Telly like I have, that's ideal.
Yeah,
because it's got the coil tap, etc.
You're right. You're not going to have the scale length that if you're on the acoustic, you might be used to that. But
ooh, amps too. Wow. All right.
How did I forget?
Fuck. All right. If we want just a straight amp,
you know what I'm going to say? I mean, it depends, but I'm going to say if they're playing at home, I think you got to go with one of those little modeling things. I don't think for the price.
I know. Yeah, I was thinking like.
You want to tell someone to get a tube amp, or if they're going just from acoustic.
Well, you know what? As crazy it is, and I used it in a couple of demos last week. That Fender Tone Master range.
There you go.
They're not too shabby. I'm not gonna, it. I think it never translates onto video as well, but in the room.
Yeah,
it's pretty decent sounding.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they would have come in at like $499 or $599 instead of $899 US, but that is what it is. But I think they would have sold a lot more if it was a little less. But I'm sure.
Yeah, and if you want to go with something small, one of those Yamahas, the THX10,
THR, yeah, those are great.
THR, yeah, I don't know what the hell they're called. I don't use it myself. I was going to say obviously, but I don't want to sound like that guy. And I just realized my camera's off center the whole fucking show.
No, I mean, it's not like that you're an elitist. You just use a lot of different and vintage tube amps and newer tube amps. And
because that's what I have and that's what I use. There we go. There we show up. Yeah. See, that's what I play through all the time. My tube Blues Deluxe.
But you wouldn't when you were 14 if you didn't have the stuff. Like if your dad hadn't.
Dude, I wanted a Marshall stack when I was 14. Or, if I was 14 today, I'd probably want like a 5150.
That's what I wanted. I wanted a 5150 full stack.
Yeah.
That's what I always dreamed for back then. But anyway, either that or like the Katana. I think the Boss Katana stuff's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's analog. It's not digital.
Awesome. And I want to say, and also he's been commenting in the chat, Rainier, welcome. And both of you, Karen and Rainier, new names, although I'm a little fuzzy at this point in the evening, so please.
That's actually if she's playing, just for herself, and she's got a set of headphones and something she can run it on. You could get something like he's mentioning Guitar Rig 5.
Yep. Guitar Man 45.
You can get something to convert from 1/4 inch to USB, some sort of digital converter that you could do that as well. I just don't know if she's looking to, if she's played acoustic before, maybe she's looking to be able to play with other people, jam with other people. And so you'd need something that they could hear. So, but if not, that's a good idea, definitely.
Yeah, because I don't think like a little Blues Junior is quite loud enough. You know, I wish that Blues Junior was like 3 or 4 watts more.
Mm.
You know, because I think it's like 12 or 15, and it really needs to be that 18 to 20.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just
I've never, I haven't I might have played one of those. I've never had one. I have I have the EL34 one, the Pro Junior. It's cool. I like it more the way that, I don't know if it's set up Class A or not, and I don't know if it has anything to do with the way it's designed, but like you can't really play it quiet. Like it comes on so loud, like like 0.7, it already sounds like it's 2 on a normal small amp like that. And it's only like a little 8 or 10-inch speaker, but I think it's 10-inch. But it sounds decent for that, you know.
Well, some ideas, you know, for
if they still sold them, I would say
the
old solid state Fender Broncos were great. Have you ever had one of those?
Sorry, what?
Solid state Fender Broncos?
Nope.
About that too. He had one.
I was a little spoiled, Tom. You know, my first amp was a Silverface Vibralux.
Oh, okay.
You know, late 70s or late 60s, early 70s. I don't know when they were.
I'm a great G10.
Yeah, only a master volume, no gain. None. None. I never found any gain on it. Then I also had a Hohner solid state 1x15 keyboard amp that came with my Les Paul. Nobody could figure out how to turn that thing on because the light for the power was also the power switch. You had to push on the light bulb. It was a push. Yeah, it was great. Nobody knew how to turn on your amps. So I had one of those. And then after that, basically, I didn't really have another real amp until I bought, I don't know, the half stack, which is solid state because I was playing metal and you need that. You know, I always think of my buddy Blaster. You might appreciate this. He said, when it comes to playing like hardcore metal, a solid state, that's a punch in the face. Tube is me just mashing my palm into your face. Nobody wants that.
Nice.
He's like, solid state starts circle pits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he was a huge Dimebag fan. So, you know, and Dimebag went solid state. So, well, I think we're at about the top of the hour here, brother man. I
was just reading. Karen Hardy said she was telling Terry, said she wants to spend at least $500 for a guitar. So I think what you mentioned, like an F1 Les Paul, is a good thing to look at. And she said,
depending on where Karen is, if Karen is in the US, I don't think Flipside is an Epiphone dealer. So maybe check out 10 Solo Music or whomever. But if you're in Canada, please check out Ardens Music because they are an Epiphone dealer and friends of the channel and friends outside of the channel. So please order from them.
The last thing I'll say, Ben, is that the best part is the last line. She said, we all want to play some 70s stuff. So definite approval on that.
Thank you. Yes. The time where let's rent a studio for 6 months and write an album.
Yeah, right.
You know, when the artist had control, that brief time when the artist had control. In Connecticut. Okay. Connecticut. Janice, help me out. The place Joe Suma that owns the place that hosts EVH Con. Let's give him some love. Stop in there. Talk to him. Whoever no, it's not Joe. Joe Suma owns Music Zoo, I think. But whoever owns the music store in Connecticut that hosts EVH Con seems like a cool dude.
Yeah, that's a cool play.
Yeah, there we go. So, Tom, always a pleasure, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Had a great time.
This has been Greenwich Music. Thank you, Janice. See, with the delay in the chat.
And thank you, Robot Master Switch. It's a great content, fun show.
She has Guitar Center and Sam Ash. Out of the two, go with Sam Ash because Guitar Center might not be able to honor your warranty if they go tits up. More news on that tomorrow, if I remember. So there we are. Yes, so awesome time as always. Next week we've got RJ Ronquillo. The Sunday after that we have Frank Rashad, who was supposed to be here tonight, but he forgot. Well, I shouldn't have said that, but he's traveling, unfortunately, and forgot. Doug says it's all downhill after he left. You're right.
All that.
Yes, use Tesi Switch. Check out all the links that Sandra's been posting. They're all friends of the channel. If you are in the market for any gear, please use the Flipside link down below. Save it to your favorites. I get a little something out of it. Thanks, everyone, for great behavior in the chat. I don't think any of the mods have had too much of a problem. Shout out to the mod squad. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
Yeah, thank you, Terry. Thank you, Sandra.
Thanks for coming in, Doug, to harass us.
Doug's got a wrench, but I'm not thanking him. All he did was promote himself in my chat. Thanks to Tom, who's also a mod, as well as good friend, brother from another mother, and all that. Thanks everybody that tuned in. Thanks those who super chatted. Excuse me. I'll be back in 21 hours.
Isn't that crazy?
20 hours, 59 minutes if I'm on time.
Right.
With Canucks with guitars. I'll try to play some guitar. Hand's still fucked, but I don't care. I'll play. Yeah, there we go. As we're just off the rails. I'm just thinking I need to pee something fierce. So cheers, rock on. Oh wait, hold those doors open. Let that guy in heading in traffic. Do good things and good things will happen to you. Doug's wife is real. Cheers and rock on. Oh wait, how do you end this? There we go. You think after